Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful night. I have with me Matt's Mama Bear and 24/7 Fusion Media. And as I did announce yesterday, I did have to push this stream back 24 hours because there was a tragic occurrence that happened. My landlady's son had passed, and I she was fielding a lot of calls, and I said, you know what, I'll cancel the stream. I'll push it back 24 hours. That way you can handle anything you needed. So we're doing it Saturday night instead of Friday night. And as I also promised in many of the tweets, I said that after I would be showing off some of my collection. Well, many of you, there we go, know that I have Bellatrix's wand.
Oh shit.
Remus Lupin's wand, and the Elder wand. But I recently, over the last couple weeks, have procured 3 new wands. And I'll start with I always wanted both Headmaster's wands, so I did also get Severus Snape's wand. And bad lighting, but you can see the engraving on the handle and whatnot. This comes from noblecollection.com, and it is impeccable work. And it just feels really good in the hand, you know? You really feel like you can cast a spell. Now, there's also, let's see here. Well, you can't really have a wand collection without the Big Bad's wand. So I also got Voldemort's wand. And I'm pretty sure you all can guess the next wand. I mean, if you have the Big Bad's wand and you know your Harry Potter lore, well, you know that that's one half of a twin set. So I also got Harry's.
There you go.
Yep. And these two are not from Noble Collection. I do actually have their Noble Collection or the Noble Collection ones, but they are 300 miles away from me right now. So yeah, I got these ones. They're sturdier. They're not as detailed, and they are a bit longer. I mean, Harry's, or the one that I have of Harry's, is thicker in the handle and the wood, and right where my hand or my fingers are right here is is the actual length of his wand. This wand would have a thinner part here and would be like maybe a centimeter smaller. So while these wands are great and they got good detail, they are not they're not licensed duplicates, or rather they're not authentic replicas. Noble Collection at noblecollection.com, they do authentic replicas like Harry, or like the other 4 wands that I have, which are the Elder wand. This one came from Noble Collection. It's the exact 1-to-1 duplicate scale. All of these are 1-to-1 duplicates, the Bellatrix Lestrange, Lupin's, and Snape's. They all have different sizes. They all have other ones. And next month, because I want to spoil myself even further, I am going to get my favorite Aurors wand, which is Mad Eye Moody's. And I actually did have his wand, but one of my cousins got a hold of it, and they kind of chipped off a piece of it, and it's like, you son of a. So it's like, you know what? I'm not going to beat the crap out of my cousin, but I'm not going to let him touch any of my collectibles ever again. So with that out of the way, I also have the Horcrux ring, Lucius Malfoy's walking stick, but that is up in storage right now. And the Marauders map, which is also 300 miles away. So yeah, I have a lot of wands that, if you remember from last or the last movie, which we're doing part 2 of Deathly Hallows. Part 1 of Deathly Hallows has Harry do a triple stupefy against Malfoy, or Draco Malfoy's father at Malfoy Manor, where he uses like 3 or 4 wands and just goes stupefy, and he just blasts him. I wish they would have, he would have just flown a little faster, you know? It would have been great. So now we are going to get into this Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. The movie basically starts with a small recap of Voldemort getting the Elder Wand. And then they're at Shell Cottage. And they're talking with Griphook and Ollivander. And Griphook was played brilliantly by the greatest short person actor of all time, in my opinion, who's alive today. Because before then it was Kenny Baker and what's his name, who also played with this one. But anyway, Warwick Davis. Now,
Warwick Davis, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Willow.
Yep. That is a great movie, and I just recently got it too, I believe.
Hey, I heard I heard they were working on another one. Is that right?
God, I hope not.
I believe they are working on the sequel.
Oh.
Of course, it's going to be like, how are you guys going to bring back these actors now that they've aged like 30 years? So, I mean, well, maybe they could. I mean, the sequel to the book has a Laura Donnan at, I think, 18, so it's not too much of a stretch. But, yeah, so Shell Cottage, the conversation between Griphook and Harry is not the same as the book. They go over a huge argument of who the sword really belongs to, with the whole goblin, or a goblin created it, and I think his name was Gornuk or something. But it's the reason why Griphook wants the sword in exchange for help, or for helping Harry Potter. And I do love how, or they go over it and whatnot. He's like, I have gold, lots of it. I have no interest in gold. Well, then what do you want then? That. And it's like, yeah, right. Okay. Now, one thing I did not approve of, and I've said in my, or I should have covered this in my brief review, but I didn't. There are differences in the book that they should have kept to. And one was, they didn't know that Snape, I do not think they knew that Snape had the sword of Gryffindor put into Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. So it kind of just gives you a tip off that why would Snape put a fake sword in Bellatrix's vault, you know? I mean, Ron asked it perfectly. So going over that scene, what did you guys think of the talk with Griphook? And we'll start with Mads.
Going through it in my head. No, I liked it. Like, nothing really stands out as glaringly missing, in my opinion. Like, not like, stuff that, I really wanted to see that didn't make it into the movies that we'll get to later on.
Yeah. 24/7. What did you think of the conversation with Griphook?
I thought it was, I don't know, I just didn't really. I mean, it was a good comment. I just didn't really put too much thought into it. It was just ready to see what was going on with the action. So.
And then they go in to Ollivander. Now, this was a lot of divergence, which a lot of people actually, I do remember a lot of people complained when I was in the theater and I saw the second half. A lot of people were like, what? Now, the reason why Harry asks Ollivander, what does he know about the Deathly Hallows? And he says they're rumored to be 3. The one, or the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone and the Cloak of Invisibility. Well, in the book, he has no idea what the Deathly Hallows even are.
Right.
He only knows of the wand. He only knows that the wand is the Wand of Destiny, the Death Stick, the Elder Wand, and whatnot. The several different iterations of it. And it's like, okay. But I do understand that they got to change a couple things up. But John Hurt, I think it is John Hurt that plays Ollivander. The way that he handled the rest of it, how he how he examined Bellatrix's wand going over what it was made of, walnut, 10 3/4 inches, dragon heartstring. He looks at the tip of the wand, he's like, dragon heartstring, and then turns unyielding. This belonged to Bellatrix Lestrange. Treat it carefully. Now, I have done a little digging on wand lore and other channels who have done the same. Dragon heartstring wands do not like to change allegiances. So using a wand with a dragon heartstring core, if it doesn't belong to you, it will resist you no matter what. Also, an unyielding wand, as he said, when he tried to bend it and it was unyielding, he didn't just mean that it was not bendable. He meant that it would not let go of its
owner
fidelity.
easily.
Yeah, it would not let go of its fidelity to Bellatrix very easily. Now, Unicorn Hair, however, when he goes over Malfoy's wand, he's like, Hawthorne. I can't remember the length, but, well, that really doesn't matter now, does it anymore, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, not the size that counts. Anyway, sorry, had to throw that in. He's like, and he just looks at it. It's like he knows, or he remembers every wand he's ever made. So he knows exactly what it has, what's the core, what's the wood, what's the length. And he also says, reasonably pliant, unicorn hair does change very easily. If you want, or if you win from a unicorn hair cord wand, that wand will be faithful to whoever it is won off of, or to whoever wins it from another. So that's why Harry held on to Malfoy's wand and used it, because his was broken. Phoenix Feather is one of the most powerful cores that they use. However, there are other cores out there that Ollivander doesn't use. He uses, I think, only 3, which is Phoenix Feather, Dragon Heartstring, and Unicorn Hair. And him going over the wand lore was a really touching scene. I liked it. I just kind of felt that him knowing about the Deathly Hallows was kind of just weird. But overall, it was a good exposition of how he only conveyed rumors to Voldemort, how he didn't know where it was, honestly, and how ragged he looked from his time in the Malfoy Manor. He looked like he was basically on the cusp of death.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, dude, they tortured. He said he whispers he tortured me, and it's like, we can see that. We really can, because your hair, it's like, man, you need a shower first off, because your hair is all ragged. But wow, yeah. He gave a brilliant performance. The actor who plays Ollivander, I think it is John Hurt.
Yes.
And the late John Hurt, because he has passed. He had the most piercing eyes I remember in the first movie, when he just slides right in when Harry comes in. He's like, I wondered when you would be here, Mr. Potter. And it was just so great. So what did you guys think of that scene with Ollivander discussing wand lore, and what did you guys pick up off of it?
You can go ahead, man.
Yes, ladies first.
I love that scene. I mean, John Hurt is an exquisite actor in any role he plays. And honestly, you guys know me at this point. I would happily just sit through a whole movie of discussing nothing but wand lore. You know, I've quite happily spent a few nights actually researching it myself, what the different wood, how the different woods affect, what the alternate cores can be, and how that affects it as well. Just like I said, I could have done a whole movie of just that one scene.
Yeah, it really was a great one. Fusion?
Oh, my turn.
Yes.
Nah, it's cool. I was actually it was, to me, I thought it was very interesting because it actually made sense when they were talking about the different attributes of the wand. When you think about who the wand belonged to, you could see that it actually helped amplify, some of their powers, and to the point where the wand has even pledged an allegiance to the owner, and even is willing to change sides. And I thought all that was interesting. I didn't know that that it was that deep with the wands, but when you watch that, you get to realizing that there's a whole lot more going on than what you thought you were watching all the within all the other previous movies. So I like that part. It explained a lot. I like that part. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So now now that first one is done, let me just erase it from my talking point thing here. We're going to get into Gringotts break-in and escape, because during her torture, or her getting tortured, Bellatrix, one of her hairs came off as she was torturing Hermione and rested on her. So they still had Polyjuice Potion, and they decided, you know what, we're going to use Polyjuice Potion, and we're going to break into Gringotts. And Weasley, being the ginger that he is, really couldn't use any more Polyjuice Potion because they didn't have enough. So he just kind of did a little makeup and charm and extending his hair and giving himself a beard. And I wish they had put that extended part in. He's like, how do I look? Well, I wouldn't know you if I didn't know you. It was just a brilliant little scene. So they apparate to just outside of Gringotts, the Diagon Alley. And there's a Death Eater. Madame Lestrange. Good morning. It's like, are you kidding me? And Griphook calls her out. Griphook actually calls her out. It's like, good morning. You're Bellatrix Lestrange, not some dewy-eyed schoolgirl. What the hell's the matter with you? And fucking Ron just wants to kick the crap out of Griphook because he's getting on his girlfriend, And it's like, if she gives us away, we might as well take that sword and slit her own throats. I mean, we might as well. And she's like, you're right, I was being stupid. Helena Bonham Carter really did give a good sense of somebody trying to be Helena Bonham Carter. Her acting was just that good. When it's like you're trying to be Bellatrix Lestrange, you can't just be Bellatrix Lestrange in this scene. And it is so they go into the Gringotts. Now, I did do some digging back in the background. There are two little goblins that are carrying like a cart across the main hall of Gringotts. Those are Wart Davis's kids in full goblin getup.
Oh.
His young daughter and his young son.
That's right. Yeah.
It is just so awesome to see that he managed to get his own kids in the movie. And they didn't have any speaking lines, but it still was a great scene. And we also finally see how Harry and Ron and Hermione no longer can afford to be goody two shoes. When they realize that something's amiss and security's tightened, what does Harry do? He uses the Imperious Curse, one of the unforgivables, and it's like, we got no choice. Imperial. And I wasn't really sure about the effect they used, where this goblin is getting high off of a freaking rainbow coke or something. Because he's just sniffing, and I'm like,
Pixie
dude, what?
dust, right?
Yeah, it's like, man, it's like you're being led with your nose, dude. You're not Toucan Sam, but it's David Gates. He does some crazy stuff. So the thief's downfall comes in,
Right,
which washes away all enchantments, and then they have the fall. And as I was discussing this with Mads in the backstage before we started, when Hermione goes Arresto Momentum, I'm pretty sure every teenage guy who was in the theater watching that scene were like, yeah, because the camera angle just kind of gave you a shot right down her shirt. And I'm like, man, maybe if I was a teenager, I'd think that was hot, but she's too young for me, so no. And it's, I mean, it had to be said. It's like, well, now at least she has a little bit of risque that she has done in movies. So her career, if she does decide to go down any further route, also the scene in part 1 where Riddle Harry and Riddle Hermione are making out naked. Yikes. Let's just say that.
Part 1, yeah.
Let's just say that. We're just going to say yikes.
Yikes.
So the goblin gets Bogrod is his name. Bogrod. Bogrod. Yeah, it's Bogrod. I hate fucking goblin names. He had the Imperious Curse washed off of him, so freaking Ron just goes right. He's like, Imperial. So yeah, shut up, man. And so they hear the dragon, and it's a Ukrainian iron belly. I'd almost wager to say it's an albino one at this point, because we all know it's whiter than a ghost.
Yeah.
But that could also be due to lack of sunlight and other stuff, and the malnourishment that it has received. It's blind for those who didn't notice. I'm pretty sure you two did.
Well, I know from the lore, but yes.
Yes.
That poor thing had actually never seen the light of day.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I saw that. I kind of felt bad. You could tell it was, especially when it got out and it took that first breath of
fresh air.
Sure.
It's
freedom.
Just on top. Yeah, it's just on
that's
top.
What it was. That joker was free and just like,
yep,
damn.
Like, now what do we do? It's like, now what do we do? Now, the scene inside the vault where they were going for the Horcrux, the Hufflepuff
right,
where they showed the Geminio curse. And it's like, there was another curse, too, that actually causes it to burn on touch. They really couldn't do that because it would be a very inconsistent thing. It was kind of very inconsistent writing with the in the book, too, because I don't know if it's supposed to burn as you touch or just only burn for a second. But the more that they kept on multiplying everything to get up to the cup, how did they not get burnt to a crisp? Now, they didn't have that, so Griphook obviously betrays them mid-robbery. So it's like, you goblin piece of and he's like, cut for the sword. Yeah, that's why you don't. And there is a deleted scene where Bill Weasley actually tells him, you can't, or if you made any deal with Griphook, you better keep it because they are very unforgiving. And also be very specific with what you say. And don't try to cheat them. Because if you try to cheat them, well, there's a reason why goblins don't get along with wizards a lot.
Right.
And because they have been mistreated and cheated a lot. Goblin magic is a very powerful and potent magic. If you piss off a goblin, they can really make your life hell. And so they all get out, or Griphook and Bogrod gets out, and Hermione's like, or Rod's like, that cheeky little cheater or whatever. Hey, at least we still got him. I'm not going to try saying that name again. And the dragon just looks. The dragon just he just looks at that one, and while he's still under the Imperious Curse, trying to do the little sound thingy, it's like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And well, he's toast. And people are throwing, or the security are throwing freaking killing curses and all sorts of other curses. You see the flash of green every now and then, and it's like, wow, man. So Hermione just takes complete control of the situation, as per usual. And so they all fly away. Yeah. And that's the break-in and the breakout. And Bob's your uncle. There's suddenly a dragon flying over London. Anybody seen Fantastic Beasts 1?
Mm-hmm. I missed that one. It's funny because I own it and never watched it, but now it's sitting in storage.
Well, do you have a Movies Anywhere app? Or a digital library called Movies Anywhere? Because if you do, I can actually send you a screen pass to watch it sometime. And it's totally free anyway, so all you need is a account with them, and the account is free. It doesn't cost anything.
For the account,
Fantastic Beasts, Movies Anywhere.
Put that in the group chat.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I'll get with you on that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I will do that.
I've got a whole bunch of movies I'm trying to track down. So yeah, put that in the group chat.
Yeah, and and actually, if you guys want to check it out, or if you want to do like a watch party or something. Hey, actually, I've never done a watch party, so fuck it. If you want to do it, I'm with it.
Yeah, I do them every week.
I'm slowly learning how to do this kind of thing. I'm slowly learning how to do watch parties and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't, or they don't want you showing it, but I could definitely watch it. And it's like, if you guys got it, watch it with me.
Well, I tell you what, since Mad knows how to do it, she can teach us, because I don't know how to do that shit either. So, it'll be she'll take us all to school.
Is in the private chat too.
That's cool. Thank you.
The link is in the private chat. I believe I have 3 screen passes. So yeah, I could definitely do that. So they jump off, and Harry gets a little peek behind the curtain of Voldemort's eyes. Well, Voldemort's pissed. He just found out that a cup was stolen out of Madame Lestrange's vault. And, well, he basically just kills everybody in Gringotts. He killed everybody, including the security guards, in Gringotts. And anybody and everybody that knew what was stolen. He went ballistic. So, god dang it, my StreamYard will not hold up on my Chromebook, which is pissing me off because I want to be able to share a couple images later. So I'll wait on that. But yeah, so Harry's like, he knows what we were at Gringotts, he knows what we stole, and he knows we're hunting Horcruxes. And Hermione's like, you let him in, you can't. It's like, shut up, woman. Seriously. He can't always help it. He's told you that a million times. What is it going to take for you to learn? I mean, you are supposed to be a genius. So they are changing there, and he's like, one of them's at Hogwarts. And we'll go to Hogsmeade. He's like, no, we got a plan. We gotta think. It's like, Hermione, when has any of our plans actually worked? We get there, or we plan, we get there, all hell breaks loose. That is one of the best freaking lines. And so he then goes back to discussing Voldemort. He's like, there's something wrong with him. And it's like, or in the past, I was always able to follow his thoughts, but now everything seems disconnected. Well, when one of your deepest secrets gets outed, you're pissed off, you're murderous, you're freaking the fuck out. You're not going to be able to hold it together. So yeah, your mind is going to be kind of like rolling the dice, you know?
All right.
So yeah, and he's like, maybe it's the Horcruxes, maybe he's growing weaker and dying. No, it's more like he's wounded. If anything, he's far more dangerous. So what did you guys think about that? And then Voldemort speaking parcel tongue to Nagini, telling him how the boys found out their secret and how he needs to keep her safe, which Dumbledore called that brilliantly. I mean, it's like, yeah, there's going to be a time that Nagini is going to be protected, very much like Voldemort, pretty much in love with that dumb son of a bitch. He's going to keep her like real close. So what did you all think of that? I absolutely love that scene because he's just walking barefoot in puddles of blood. It's pure horror movie stuff right there. Mads.
Now I've got Singing in the Rain going through my head.
That's psychopathic.
I love Singing in the Rain. I love that movie.
Good movie, but Singing in the Rain.
No, actually, I got 2 copies upstairs. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yep, I'm with you, Mads. I'll drink to that.
I never. This is water, though.
Singing in the Rain with what footsteps on a bank.
I never said I was normal.
I don't think any of us are.
It's truth.
Yeah.
No, it was. I like. It was a good scene, man. I liked the movie overall. So there's not a lot that I can really say that I wasn't happy about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was, as you guys have heard me complain about the whole parcel tongue thing over the series. I'm happy that they actually show him speaking it so we can actually understand what's being said. Because so much of what's been said through parcel tongue is really good stuff that they completely gloss over.
Yeah. 24/7. What do you think of that scene when Voldemort just goes nuts slaying everybody?
Shit, I was loving it. I was loving it. He ain't give a shit. He was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, yup. And I was enjoying it. It's, and that's the thing. It's like, the whole thing with that movie is you saw the yin and the yang, because you'll see Voldemort like killing folks. Harry Potter's trying to save them. It's like everything that you saw that was being, shed into the negative light. You got Harry trying to do the complete opposite, for the complete, opposite reasons. And the whole movie was a movie of good versus evil, light against dark. It was just, whatever you saw that was happening on one end that was good, there was always a counter reaction to the whole situation in a bad way, and vice versa. It was just a very interesting, way that they filmed it, they made it, and I enjoyed it, because I saw that, when you were talking about it, the way I was talking about it, the chat sparked up a little bit, Mads had a little smile on her face. So, you know, it
Yeah.
worked out. It worked out.
Yeah. So then we get to Hogsmeade, and we meet the brother of Dumbledore. And I'm going to share my screen right here of the actor who plays Aberforth Dumbledore. This is Kieran Hines, who plays Aberforth. As you can see, he looks nothing like what he looks like in the movie.
Actually, he does.
In a sense, yes, but they put a lot of prosthetic makeup to kind of make him look like Dumbledore.
Mhm.
And I gotta say, it's like, whoa.
I mean, it's the hair. I mean,
but also they actually put pieces or fake skin stuff over his eyebrows, over his eyes, under his eyes, to make his face look more kind of like Michael Gambon's character, or
right.
Plus the beard and stuff too, and whatnot. It's, I mean, the only real thing that you can really see in this comparison is, well, the nose kind of looks.
Actually, I was gonna say it's the nose, the cheeks, the like, you know, the way he looks across the whole eyebrows and the forehead, like all that is the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and then everything else is covered by hair. But I mean, you know, if he was shaved, he would look exactly like the guy on, you know, on the other pictures. So I mean, they did a good job with filling all that in, and just man, it's like you say, it's like night and day, man. It's
and I absolutely love the discussion. Now, it's a very abridged comparison, because they didn't really go into the past of Dumbledore like they do in the book, and it's really criminal. Like I was telling Matt, it's very criminal how they did not go further into it, because as I was telling her, when he was talking to Harry about his brother and how psychotic his brother actually kind of is. I mean, Dumbledore, let's put it this way, Dumbledore, as caring as he is kind of psychotic. The dude sent a freaking kid on a suicide mission, if you break it all down.
Not even
because
just
we
once.
noticed later on in the movie during Snape's memories. Yeah, not even just once.
Not even just once.
But many times.
Yeah.
Now,
Harry's first year.
Yeah.
He knew what was going down, and he let the 3 kids take care of it.
You know, the whole thing, when it was all explained, he had nothing to lose. If Harry died, it would take out Voldemort anyway. So it's like, to put him on the suicide missions didn't. It's like, you know, it was like he was either gonna live through it, or he was gonna die. And if he died, whatever, you know, Voldemort, you know, what was attached to him with Voldemort was gonna die with him. So it was like a win-win situation. Either way it went. Either he succeeds and kills Voldemort, or he dies and Voldemort dies with him.
Yeah.
It's just, in the whole of Dumbledore's history, they explain how close he got to Grindelwald, and a lot of how really dark Grindelwald really was.
Yeah.
And it's only afterwards that you really get to look back at it and realize, just as Orange was saying, how twisted he really was.
Yep. And one of the things that Aberforth says that is a perfect line that he tells Harry, he's like, "My brother sacrificed many things, Mr. Potter, on his quest to find power, including Ariana, and she was devoted to him. He gave her everything except time." And that's true. And with the new Fantastic Beast movies out, you learn that there's a certain thing called an obscurial or an obscurus, I'm willing to bet Ariana was an Obscurus because of what happened to her and how she couldn't control her magic and how she would have those explosions, so to speak, that they describe in the book. But yeah.
I'm curious how they'd explain that, because Obscurus are generally created because they're trying to suppress their magic. They're forced to suppress their magic.
Yeah. I
Like
mean, there's
Harry
theories.
would have become one if they hadn't have taken him to Hogwarts.
Yeah. I mean, there are theories that there are theories that she was an Obscurus. I don't think it's ever confirmed in the expanded Pottermore stuff. But yes, Harry would have been an Obscurus too.
Mhm.
But they also said that they don't live past the age of 10. So, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't become an Obscurus. But anyway, Aberforth sends Ariana to go get somebody. And we see Neville looking like hell. And it's just beautiful. But before we do get into that, what did you guys think of the whole scene with Aberforth?
I was expecting Aberforth to look a little different. So that there was that jarring moment initially.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked him. I liked how gruff he was.
Yeah.
Because like you and I discussed in the back, he is Dumbledore's opposite in every way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that where actually I took to it kind of automatically. Like, you're not supposed to like this character, but I like that type of person.
Yeah.
Especially as he goes on and you realize he's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind of person sends kids off on this hunt without even telling them where to go?
Yeah.
Right.
Chasing Horcruxes or on the limbs of a man who wouldn't even tell him where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically the line that he said. And he's like, you're lying. Not to me, that doesn't matter, but to yourself. And that's what a fool does. You don't strike me as a fool. And it's... Daniel Radcliffe did a good job with that, but when he says, I'm not interested in the problems between you and your brother, it's like, Harry is kind of like that, but he also would have thought it through too. He also would have taken the time to listen, because Harry adores Dumbledore. He doesn't want to hear anything bad about Dumbledore, but the more he learned about Dumbledore, the more that shine did kind of did tarnish a little bit. And Kieran Hines just was very brilliantly doing Aberforth. I mean, that was a great scene. He had the kindness, he had the gentleness when he said, and she was devoted to him, and he gave her nothing, or he gave her everything except time. Mm-hmm. He had, so you knew that he did have a softer side, mostly reserved for his goats, if you know the lore. But yeah. Anyway, but there was that softer side that he had. Mm-hmm. And so Ariana, instead of going outside of her portrait, like most other portraits do, she just walks down the path in back of her and then brings back Neville Longbottom, and they all get into the castle. And I love Seamus Finnegan, man. The return of Seamus Finnegan. He's like, hey, you lot, I got a surprise for you. Not anymore if Aberforth's cooking it, is it? It'd be a surprise if any of us could digest it. And so everybody's there, and it's like, okay, so what's the plan, Harry? We need to find something in the castle. Okay, what is it? We don't know. Where is it? We don't know that either. I know it's not much to go on. That's nothing to go on. Seamus just says it. He's like, that's nothing to go on.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, man. It's just so frigging great when he said that. It's like, wow. It is just seriously great. And then Ginny comes in, or no, he actually discusses it with he's like, it has something to do with Ravenclaw. It'll be something small, easily concealed. And then Luna pipes up, and freaking Ron's like, oh, here we go. It's like, shut up, Ron. This woman, or she fought with you in the Department of of Mysteries, man.
Yep.
She's earned her freaking badge of honor. I mean, or Luna Lovegood, as kooky as of a character she is, she actually has wisdom. She has smarts. She's a Ravenclaw. Exactly. That's kind of their thing. And so she's like, Ravenclaw's last item? Nobody heard of it? And Cho Chang is there. And it's like, here's the thing, folks. What many of you guys don't realize, Cho Chang shouldn't have been there. Except that she came back at the last, or when they were all summoned, because she's 1 year higher than Harry.
Yeah.
She would have already, she graduated in the 6th, or in Harry's 6th year. She was a 7th year. So, but anyway, Cho wanted to take him up to the common room, probably to get some, but in the books, Ginny's like having none of that. No, Luna can take him up because Ginny is with Harry. And I love how that's something that's totally glossed over, but this was Seamus's time to shine in this movie, I feel, because Ginny comes in, Barrett doesn't even fucking notice Ron, and he's like, hi, and she's just looking. 6 months she hasn't seen me, and it's like I'm a Frankie first year. I'm only a brother, and he's like, the way that he says it is way too fast because of the Irish bit that he is. He's like, she's got lots of those though. There's only one Harry. That's how you or saying it slow, but trying to say it fast. Got a lot of those though. There's only one Harry, and it's he's like, shut up, Seamus. And oh my gosh, man, I wish they had actually really gone overboard with how Seamus looked, because he has 2 black eyes. I mean, I believe in the book they actually described him with one eye was swollen shut because he got beaten to a pulp a lot. And so Snape calls everybody there. And this also happened differently in the book because there was no call to the Great Hall. There was, or until after the battle between McGonagall and Snape. But yeah, Harry comes in bold as brass when Snape says, anybody step forward if you've heard anything about Potter being seen. Well, despite your extensive defensive strategies, you still got quite a bit of a security problem, Headmaster. And I think it's quite extensive as the order just marches in. I mean, that's like, yeah, baby, superheroes. But when he pulled his wand on Harry, and you honestly think that he might actually just attack Harry, and when McGonagall steps in, do you think that he was actually going to attack Harry because of what he was saying of how he just basically outed him in front of everybody at the school? Or do you think that he was simply pulling his wand because he realized the Carrows were right behind him?
I think it's kind of 50-50. I mean, it's no secret, Snape did not like Harry because he reminded him so much of his dad. And in that moment, he definitely would have reminded him a lot of James. So that definitely would have at least been a reflex of, just a quick stupefy,
Yeah, just like shut him up. Yeah. But McGonagall stepped in. Now, 24/7, what do you think of the whole scene between McGonagall and Snape dueling?
Well, I'm going to agree with Mads. No, actually, no, actually, it's funny because when Snape pulled the wand out on him, it to me, knowing what I know because I seen the movie a few times.
Mhm.
Uh, After watching it a few times, I could see Snape doing it and being pissed. Like if you only knew, like basically like pulling it out on Harry Potter. Like motherfucker, if you only knew how I felt about your mother and how your father fucking betrayed me, I will fucking like he pulled it out
Yeah.
like
He
basically like how dare you like make me out to be the bad guy and you don't know how I felt about your mom and how your dad
was a
treated
pain in
me
the
and
ass.
bullied me
Yeah.
ever since I met him. And it's just it just felt like when he pulled it out to be pissed because everything he tried to do was to protect Harry, and
Hmm.
Harry just
Mhm.
turned on him, and it just and I think he pulled it out just for the fact of that, but it wasn't because he didn't like Harry or anything. I know Harry, parts of him reminded Snape of Harry's dad, and parts of him
Yeah.
reminded Snape of of his mom. And it
Hmm.
was the fact that out of everything he tried to do, and the thing is, Snape couldn't reveal his
He couldn't.
involvement,
Yeah,
right?
he
Because
couldn't out himself.
yeah. So basically, when he got ousted by Harry, it made him feel so fucked up because behind the scenes he was trying to do a whole bunch of good shit, and none of
Hmm.
it couldn't be revealed.
Yeah.
So it's like you've been the good guy the whole time, but you're portrayed as the bad guy, and under the circumstances you have to run with the bad guys. But
In
even
order
though
to
you're
keep your
you're
cover.
befriending the bad guys, you're still trying to do the right thing.
Yep.
Boy, I tell you, it's so
And
fucked up. It's
it
it's
was. But
oh shit.
I did love seeing Dame Maggie Smith cut loose
Oh yeah.
when she was dueling Snape, throwing. I believe that was Phoenix Fire at Snape
Mhm.
that she was throwing. She was just launching blast after blast, and I just love how he deflects them, and he basically goes boom, boom, or whoosh, whoosh, and deflects both of them into the carrows behind him, and then flies out when she calls him a coward and whatnot. And it's like, oh wow! And you think because the music roars up with the Hogwarts theme as she lights the plinths and all around the
Right.
Great Hall, that you think it's a triumphant moment, but it's very quickly stopped because, well,
Harry. Yeah.
Voldemort is activating some sort of super telepathy through magic that we have no idea about, and causes two girls to scream like they're being murdered right in front of everybody else. And then he just basically says, it's like, I know you guys want to fight, and you probably think fighting is wise, but this is a folly. Give me Harry Potter, and you all can live. Give me Harry Potter. I'll leave Hogwarts untouched. Give me Harry Potter. You'll be rewarded. And freaking Pansy Parkinson, man. Draco's freaking lovesick bitch is just, it's like, what are you waiting for? Somebody grab him. Well, Ginny gets in front of Drake, or Ginny gets in front of Harry. Everybody else gets in front of Harry. And pretty much
Off to the
the
dungeon.
comedic relief comes in with the lovely little squib named Argus Filch. Students out of bed. Students they're supposed to be out of bed. You blithering idiot. Right. Anyway, Mr. Filch, your arrival here is most opportune. I think you could take Slytherin and escort them from the hall. Where would I be taking them? The dungeons would do. And everybody just starts clapping, man. It's like, yeah, get him out of there. Now, they actually had a deleted scene where they brought Filch back to say that one lovely line from the very first movie, "Nighty night," and he locks them all in the freaking dungeon with a key. It's like, you didn't take their wands, you idiot. And they blast out of the damn thing, and they all freaking escape. Now, Dame Maggie Smith McGonagall is like, I assume there's a reason you've come back, Potter. What is it you need? And he's like, time, however much you can give me. I'll secure the castle. And she's like, Potter, it's good to see you. And I'm like, okay. Grandmotherly of you. Very nice. Okay, good. Get to the castle defenses, please. Now, this scene where she is giving Neville Longbottom and Seamus Finnegan permission to blow up the bridge and whatnot. And she's like, why don't you confer with Mr. Finnegan? He has a particular proclivities for pyrotechnics. And it's like, wow. Anyway, it was. But it's what happened after that. When she was talking with Phileas Flitwick. He's like, we can't keep you-know-who out indefinitely. That doesn't mean we can't delay him. And his name is Voldemort. It's like, be thankful you didn't just put up all your protective charms, because the second you do that, or if you would have done that and then said his name, oh boy, let's just say Hogwarts would have been in rubble. Because I don't think they established that the taboo was lifted. At all.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was lifted at that point. But Hogwarts does have the magical enchantment that you cannot apparate onto the grounds.
True, that is true. But after Hogwarts falls later on, everybody's freaking apparating on those grounds. But anyway, she's like, you might as well use it. He's going to kill you either way. And then she turns and uses Pertotum Locomotor, which ignites which animates all the statues in Hogwarts. That scene brought tears to my eyes when the freaking knight or armor statue just comes down and just lifts his head as he's kneeling. It's like, holy, this is like freaking hero moment, man. It's like heroes that are going, they're going to die, but they are going to fight as hard as they can. It's just welled up in me at that moment. There are not many moments in movies nowadays that can do that. That is one scene that gets me teared up and actually crying. It's not because I'm sad. It's because it's a beautiful fucking scene. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries, do your duty to your school and whatnot. And then she completely just like, I always wanted to use that spell. And freaking Molly looks, or just gives her a side glance like, you're crazy. And then they start using the 3 spells, Protego Maxima, Fianto Duri, Repello, and Inimicum. I know what Protego Maxima is. That's kind of obvious. What is Fianto Duri and Repello and Inimicum? I've tried you know what? I'm going to look that up right now.
Type them in for me. Or
yeah.
if you know the spelling.
Fianto Duri.
And you said Reflecto.
Harry Potter Wiki Fandom. Protego Maxima, Fianto Duri, Repello, and Inimicum, Hogwarts Castle being magically fortified. Fianto Duri was the incantation of a charm that, when combined with protective spells such as Protego Maxima, could cause magical defenses to become hard and more durable. So Fianto Duri is basically durable. You're making the Protego charm
durable infinite.
Yeah. Repello
and the other one?
Typing that in now.
Repello, that's a repelling.
Repello, yes. Inimicum. Maximum. Repello Inimicum was a charm that, when cast in combination with Protego Maxima, conjured up a barrier of magical protection around the palette. So basically, it's another solidification spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, those are answers to our question. I hope you all have just learned some great lore. Subhuman 84, good to see you, man. Always awesome to have you in the chat. And so now, Harry is trying to go to the Ravenclaw common room. He's like, but before he does, Ron has a brilliant moment, and freaking Hermione's like, it was Ron's idea. It's completely brilliant. And it's like, stop simping for a moment and tell him what you want to freaking tell him. And he's like, you killed Tom Riddle's diary with a basilisk fang. Well, we know where to find. Okay, good. Take the Marauder's map. Find me when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go off, and you see Luna looking after Harry like, oh shit, he didn't pay attention, did he? When Cho said nobody alive has seen the diadem of Ravenclaw. So again, she's like, Harry, but you're not going to find anything. Where you go? Later, Luna, later. God damn it, later, Luna. Harry Potter, you listen to me right now. It's like the way he's like, okay, I'm listening. Yes, mommy. It's like, oh, damn, dude. The way that she just basically just bitch slaps him verbally was just.
Love
so
that.
She's like, yeah. So she's like, you heard what Cho said, right? Nobody alive has seen it. It's obvious. We need to talk to somebody who's dead. And this brings us into another image that I'm going to share of the Grey Lady. Now, everybody in the chat, you know who Mara Jade is, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knows who Mara Jade is. Please tell me that this woman, it's agreeable that this character, the Grey Lady, kind of looks like Mara Jade. Kind of. I'm not saying perfectly, but kind of looks like Mara Jade, who, by the way, is currently going live right now, but we're going to continue marching on. I mean, kind of go, God damn it. Nope, that way. Yeah. Doesn't she kind of look like Mara Jade? I mean, we all know that Mara Jade loves that Reface app on Twitter. She is criminally obsessed with that thing, if you ask me. That's a joke, Mara. Chill out. But she does love that damn app, and I wish they would. You know what? If you see this, Mara, use the app and see if they can run this scene. I actually would love to see a comparison, because I honestly,
I don't know if they have the Grey Lady in that app.
Oh, they should, because that would be such a great. I mean, her character in this movie was just portrayed beautifully. And so Harry's like, you're the Grey Lady. I do not answer to that name. No, sorry. Helena Ravenclaw. You're a friend of Luna's. Yes. And she says, I need your help. You're seeking my mother's diadem. Now, in the book, she's like, I don't think wisdom is going to really help you against him or against Voldemort. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not why I kind of want to kill it. But anyway, she's like, I can't help you. And he's like, wait, I want to destroy it. And that actually stops her. But the look that is on her face in that scene, it's like, or it's basically what is being said is, I've had this conversation before, and it's happening all over again. And Voldemort and his group show up during this, or they cut to Voldemort and his Death Eaters all on a mountain area just outside. And he's like, they never learn. What a pity. And Pius Thickness, the new Minister of Magic under the Imperious Curse, is like, my lord, shouldn't we? And him and Bellatrix are like, shut up. I mean, they just look back at him like, and he's like, okay, sorry, shutting up now. Begin. And this scene, folks, I heard in Italy, this scene, when shown in a theater, had like 30 people season out because of epilepsy. I mean, all the flashes, this had a lot of controversy because of all the flashes. They didn't send out warnings to anybody who may be epileptic that there's going to be a lot of flashing when they launched all those spells at the barriers. And it just looked like, and like, I mean, I could just imagine people with, there was a person actually at the theater with epilepsy, and they just, it was bad. They actually had to stop they had to stop the movie and put the lights on and get the paramedics in there. But oh my God, man, I could, in Italy, when they said like 30 to 40 people started seizing out in a theater because of that one scene, it's hard to imagine, but I feel I'm going to hell for saying this, but almost slightly comical. Yeah, I know I'm going to hell. But no, folks, just to be very clarifying, seizures are no laughing matter. They are very serious things. They can kill you.
Depends on where you have them.
Yes, depends on where you have them. Depends on what happens while you have them. Depends on there's a lot of factors that are dependent on the kind of seizure as well. But yeah, they should have definitely been on their game and said, if you're epileptic, you might not want to watch this next part because it's going to be very flashy. And I'm not talking about special effects. I'm talking about flashy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So they're all going blap, 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 pow, 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 shoop, shoop, shoop on the barrier. And he's like, that's what you want too, isn't it, Helena? And she looks at Harry like, it's all happening again. She's shaking her head. You want it destroyed? Another sought to destroy it many years ago. A strange boy with a strange name, Tom Riddle. But he lied. He's lied to many people, and then she just comes at him like a freaking horror movie, man. I know what he is. I know what he's done. He defiled it with dark magic. And it's like, okay, I'm hearing you, and I have just pissed my pants. Thank you. I still need to destroy it. So what did you all think of the Gray Lady, of that scene where she's like, Strange, you remind me of him a bit. And then she tells him exactly where it is because he knows of the room of requirement. He's been in the room, and in the 6th book, you actually see, or it mentions the diadem in the 6th book when he is hiding the Half-Blood Prince's book. It's like, or there's some creepy little statue with a weird-looking crown on it. That was the diadem.
Yeah.
Of Ravenclaw in the 6th book. And it's like, God damn, man. So she's like, if you know, or if you have to ask, you will never know. And if you know, you need only ask. And her character is just so beautifully done. It's like, wow, man. The actress they had was spot on. It was just really well done. So what did you guys think of that one scene?
No, she was beautiful in how she portrayed it. I mean, you have to play a character that is, pardon the pun for a ghost, but so haunted by what happened, by so many things that happened to her. She carried that beautifully.
It was guilt she carried because she realized what she'd done. She trusted Tom Riddle.
She's also
a victim.
Living and habitating with the monster that killed her.
Yep. For those of you who don't know, she's referring to the ghost who is the Bloody Baron, who is the Slytherin ghost, where the Gray Lady is the Ravenclaw ghost. The Slytherin ghost, the Bloody Baron, who also has chains, or that he carries because of it. Back when Helena stole her mother's diadem and hid it in Romania inside of a hollowed out tree, the Bloody Baron was sent to collect her, and the Bloody Baron loved her, was in love with her, and she wanted nothing to do with him. Well, in a fit of rage, he killed her. And they actually explained her look in the book where her dress is glistening, and that's actual blood, or ghost blood, basically.
Yeah.
on her dress, and she, or as Mads was, go on, Mads.
No, that's the large
Yeah.
part of it. I mean, she not only is she haunted by what she like that she had, is the reason why her mother's diadem is cursed,
Mm-hmm.
but she is forced to, for eternity, be in the same building, trapped in the same building with the monster that not only would relentlessly sought after her to be his mate, but killed her as well in a very brutal
Yep.
fashion.
Yeah, he gutted her basically.
Hmm.
What did you think of the Gray Lady scene, Fusion?
I thought it was played out very well. I thought she was actually very intriguing the way she like wanted to help, but then didn't want nothing to do with it. And she thought it was actually someone playing a game with her, trying to take advantage of her. And when she found out that it was that when she found out that that wasn't the case, then she was a little different about it, but at the same time she was still apprehensive of the whole matter. So
Yeah.
it was it was cool to see, because you get to see how she's been hurt, the way she's been damaged, whether she was alive or dead. She you could tell she still has endured a lot of things even in death. And I just thought it was awesome how it all kind of came together at that moment, to see what was her significance. And in all this, it was a pretty cool thing to witness.
Yeah. So while Harry goes on to the Room of Requirement, Ron and Hermione, or also the Battle of Hogwarts begins, and the people who were going at the bridge after Neville and Seamus have set it up, you don't know what they set up. There is a deleted scene that actually shows Seamus doing the setup, but it's like, nah, they really didn't need to keep that in. Now, you see all these guys running, and you see what this protections, or the protections of Hogwarts, is. These three guys run square into the barrier, and they just get disintegrated. It's like, oh damn, man, this is a school, and it's like, holy shit. And I just love Neville. Yeah, I just say what?
Maybe they should have stayed an extra year if that didn't occur to them.
Yeah, I know, right? And so freaking you hear Neville, he's like, yeah, you and whose army? And it's like, almost sounded like you said, you know whose army. But it's also that one guy, that one snatcher that was it from the first movie that was leading that whole charge. And he just kind of slows down and lets everybody run ahead of him. And, well, yeah, that happens. Now, if you pay close attention to the sound of all those people running there, you will hear dogs barking. You'll actually hear leopards or leopard snarls and whatnot. And it's like, I'm not seeing a single freaking animal in that entire group of CGI characters. So you're saying that guys are sounding like dogs, and it's just weird. It was weird sound effects that they used. I mean, I would have just used I would have just recorded a bunch of people yelling and shit. That was about it. I wouldn't have used like dogs or anything, or freaking leopards or whatnot, because that was just weird sounding. And I'm like, because of my autistic awareness, I pick up on sounds that are familiar, and those sounds on wow kind of, well, not that kind of wow, but I can't really get to the pitch. My throat's not
Right.
there, folks. But yeah, you can hear big cat screeching and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm not seeing any animagus or werecats or werewolves or dogs or what. Where are they? So it kind of drives you nuts in that mindset. And then we get to the Chamber of Secrets. Now, they didn't rebuild the Chamber of Secrets. This was a strict blue screen set. And it was some of the best blue screen I have ever seen. Now, folks, if you have seen my reviews, you know that many of my reviews if there is a scene that has green screen or blue screen, I am very critical of that. When it comes to the blue screen in this one scene, it is very well done. The only way that you know the only way that you can then see a flaw is if you know it is a blue screen. But even with this one, it was very well done. They did the perfect matte painting for it, and it just fit. Now, what I don't get is when he plucks that damn freaking fang out of the skull of the basilisk. Why is there a full row of teeth on the upper jaw? Didn't one come out of Harry's arm?
Yes. Huh? Yes, there should have been one missing. That was an oversight. But you know what? I have to say, at every stream, a wizard did it.
I know, right? And it's like he hands it to her. He's like, "You do it." I can't. Why are you acting like a 5-year-old baby? Of course you can. Stab that thing. That can be taken so many ways. I'm sorry, but anyway, this is actually where you see how killing a Horcrux affects Voldemort. And why did we not see this in the first movie when they killed the necklace? We do not know. But when she stabs that cup, I'm guessing it's because there was a bigger portion of his soul. Now, folks, Horcruxes, pieces of his soul. When you are ripping your soul, the first time you kill somebody and to make a Horcrux, that's 50-50. So 50% of your soul just went into that Horcrux. His first Horcrux was Tom Riddle's diary. Mm-hmm. He was a disembodied ghost. He wouldn't have felt that. The ring, I believe, was his third Horcrux, but that would be another 25% into the cup. I'm guessing it was when he was younger. The cup and the ring and the locket all have bigger portions of his soul. So the locket he should have felt. The ring he should have felt. And the cup, we see him go and whatnot. And then you see Voldemort in the water coming at Ron and Hermione, and then they all get splashy wet in more ways than one for Hermione's case. Pun intended, sorry. This is an adult channel, folks. Well, they're like, okay, that just happened. Let's make out right in the middle of the Chamber of Secrets. Right? Let's just basically give the biggest freaking middle finger to Salazar Slytherin. Well, here, there, Salazar. We're kissing right in the middle of your damn thing right before the bones of of your big ass basilisk. And so then they just kind of give it a little smile. If you watch the behind the scenes, they are Rupert Grint, Emma Watson. If you ask how they describe each other, you want to know what they say? Kind of like a brother and sister relationship. Yuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying yuck. And so then you see Voldemort just elder wand in hand. Mm-hmm. He just screaming out in a rage, destroys the whole freaking barrier, and you see Dame Maggie Smith's, but like it would have just kind of almost fit with just to see a little tremble in the lip, but you know they put a lot of heart and soul into that barrier. He just rips through it, and and as he's blasting, you start to see little cracks, and then he pulls down the wand, and then they do the whole zoom in run along of the shaft of the Elder Wand and how it's cracking because it's not being used under the proper owner. Now everybody thinks that it's probably, well, we'll get into that later. And then also Harry responds to each Horcrux being killed too, and we'll get into that later as to why. Everybody mostly thinks it's because he's connected with Voldemort, and that is partly true. So, then the room of requirement where Harry finds the diadem, and Malfoy shows up with Blaise and Goyle, because Crabbe, the actor who plays Crabbe, was actually, I believe, arrested and in jail because he couldn't keep his ass clean. So they had to have somebody else do the whole thing, because it's actually Crabbe in the book that casts the Fiendfire, the super animal, creepy-looking fire that's in the room of requirement in that scene. And you see that he couldn't control it, and so he's like, like, stop, you're not stopping. Oh, fuck it. He throws his damn wand right in the fire. It's like, really? Did Voldemort teach you that? He should have taught you how to control it, because he could do it without a fucking wand, as we saw in the 5th movie, where he's like, ah! I'm like, did you just lick flames? Dude, nice. Like, seriously, thumbs up, man. You just licked fire. Yes, Voldemort can use perfect fiend fire without a fucking wand, because he's Voldemort, baby, and he's awesome. Now, you can use protective spells against fiend fire, because Harry actually throws up a protective or protego spell to actually protect him from one of the animals that hits him. And then Ron kind of just runs into a couple of rooms, and they're all like, and they actually do use a brilliant line from the book, because Harry, ever the hero, has to rescue frickin' Malfoy and Blaise, because Goyle fell into the fire because he's an idiot and he deserves it. He actually threw the killing curse at Hermione when he saw her, and frickin' Ron's like, ah, that's my girlfriend, you know. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess that's how I guess that works, because he does do it in the book. And it's like,
it's still one of my favorite insults to throw at people, because despite how popular that movie is, nobody knows what a numpty is.
Exactly. I mean, I think it has something to do with Humpty Dumpty, but
no, basically it means idiot.
Yeah. And Hermione, when he hears Ron say, that's my girlfriend, you numpties, she just stops and she's like, gives that little proud moment. He's like, yeah, that's my boyfriend going to kill those Death Eaters. Not really kill him, but he's probably going to be running like a bitch in a second. Oh, shit. He's running like a bitch in a second. Goyle set the bloody place on fire. It's like, seriously, man. Can you not with that? And so if we go back for them, Harry, or if we die for them, Harry, I'm going to kill you. That's straight out of the book, folks. And that was a brilliant line. And, well, now that Harry has saved the life of Draco Malfoy, everybody remembers Peter Pettigrew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened when he saved Harry's life, or when he saved Peter's life. Well, that kind of magic is now attached between Harry and Malfoy. Malfoy's eventually going to owe, or has a kind of I owe you my life kind of stigma to Harry. They'll never explain it, I don't ever think, but they probably should have in The Cursed Child. I've never read that book. I don't plan on reading that book. I got the abridged version. It's weird. It makes no sense. And when did they have a kid and when did they do the nasty? But anyway, so they stab the damn diadem with the basilisk fang and kick it into the fire. Now, fiend fire is actually a thing that can kill Horcruxes.
Mhm.
And you see 3 Voldemort heads coming at him, and then the door just closes. It's like, well, now the Half-Blood Prince's book is gone. That sucks. Would have loved to get a couple more kids to not learn any of those spells anymore, but at least do a good job in potions. Cheaters. But yeah.
You wouldn't have been taking notes. Come on.
Yeah, I know. So after that Horcrux is dead, you actually see Nagini reacting. How she just kind of cringes up, slithers into a very tight-knit ball, and you hear Voldemort going, and one thing I noticed in this scene, and then I went back into other movies and saw this very same anomaly. There's no lenses in Harry Potter's glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where's the reflection in those? There's no reflection in those glasses. Son of a bitch, he's just wearing wire frames. Yep. Completely kills the illusion. But hey, that's movie magic, folks. But yeah, if you actually look close enough, you will not see reflection like you could see with the screen in my eyes. You won't see that in Harry Potter's glasses because that's magic, baby. That's magic. Yeah. Annoying magic. So what did you all think?
Even anti-reflective coatings.
There you go. Anti-reflective coatings. There you go.
No,
invisible lenses.
Even that gives off a reflection when it comes to light.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
I wear glasses normally.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. What did you guys think of that whole rumor requirement, diadem, death, fiend fire scene?
Like I said, Numpty is still ever since then. It was a bit before, but ever since then, it has definitely become one of my favorite insults to people. Because most people have that same, what? You making up words at me?
What is a numpty? Numpty, a stupid or ineffectual person. Confused numpties who have little idea of what they're actually talking. Thank you, Bing.
That's exactly why I love using it at people, because it's the perfect description.
It's perfect. They don't know what it is. And, yeah.
The fact you're asking that.
And I know I am kind of not really paying attention to the chat. I am very sorry about that, folks. I do see Freeman Mike in the chat, Subhuman84 in the chat, and Soul Assassin in the chat. Who else? Storyman Jack, it is good to see you if you're still here. We got 0 people in the chat because they're all at Mary J's, but we're still going to go on because they can catch this on the replay, damn it. Yep. But yeah, so Fusion, what did you think of that scene with the fiend fire, the dragon, snake, and was the wolf of fire that was coming running at him too? There was all sorts of madness, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining. Yeah. Just the way it all went down and the way that that fire was traveling all over the place. I thought it was pretty entertaining. And then, you have Malfoy show up and you had Malfoy and everybody trying to get out of there, and the one dude died. Mm-hmm. So, it shows the severity of what happened or what transpired during the middle of all that. And I just thought it was a pretty cool scene.
Yep. It also and there's a lesson to be learned in that scene too. Don't use spells you can't control, because unless you know how to turn the damn thing off, don't freaking use it. I mean, his father is a Death Eater, but he never used it. Or I don't think he ever used Fiend Fire. I think the only person we've ever seen use Fiend Fire was in the movies, Voldemort. Because in the 5th movie, when he's dueling Dumbledore, when that fiery snake is actually Fiend Fire, I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And Dumbledore just cut that bitch's head off, like, really quick. And I'm like, oh, okay. Dumbledore the Snake Slayer.
It is, Crab and Goyle, though. I mean, really, the two of them can't make a knock spell work.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't put out a wand light in any fashion. Or I mean, I'm willing to bet if they were going to apparate, they would only apparate their shoelaces. But anyway, so you see how Nagini and Voldemort react to the death of this Horcrux. I mean, Nagini is like slithering up, like she's like, this hurts, this is hurt, this hurts. It's like ow, 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 ow. And Voldemort, and then he just reaches up and quickly puts his face down, hand down, looking back. He turns to start walking away, and Pious Thickness is like, my lord, he's just sick and tired of that dude. He just kills that dude out of pure spite, man. He's like, and just kills the dude, and he's like, "Wah!" And I laughed way too hard at that scene in the theaters. I just like, holy fucking shit. And I'm like, oh my god, laughing my ass off, and people are like, it's not that funny. He killed him. I'm like, shut up, I'm laughing. But yeah. And so he's like, come to Guinea, I need to keep you
singing in the rain.
Yeah. And so Ron is like, look inside him, Harry. Or it's the snake is the last one. Or so we think. Or so we think, folks. We think the snake is the last one. But there's another one out there that we haven't heard of yet. But we're probably suspecting. And we're going to get to that. Mm-hmm. But first, let's take a small little stop down to the boat launch. Where Harry's looking in the mind of Voldemort. And you see the lovely scene of Lucius Malfoy, basic bitch, trying to plead with his master. Why not just seek the boy yourself, man? But he's like, why not call off this attack and seek the boy yourself? That's like, in the book, Voldemort calls him right. It's like, how touching. You want to save your son. Shut up. Go get Severus. But in the movie, man, he goes right up to him and just bitch slaps Lucius Malfoy. He's like, look at me. How can you live with yourself, Lucius? And he tells him, he's like, I don't know. But oh my God, man, when he bitch slapped Lucius, I honestly, I had to see the movie twice. I went to see the movie a second time just to make sure I saw that right. It's like, wait, did he slap him?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, he actually just bitch slapped Lucius Malfoy. But it's the perfect expression of how truly pathetic Lucius Malfoy is at that moment, and how truly pathetic he has become in the eyes of Voldemort. He's like, I don't need to seek the boy. Before the night's out, he's going to come to me. Do you understand? Look at me, you little shit, when I'm talking to you. How can you live with yourself? You are such a pathetic piece of shit. You freaking got my diary killed. You freaking you failed with the prophecy. Why did I break you out of Azkaban? You are so freaking useless. Your wand broke like a freaking twig when I tried to kill Harry with it. You are a douchebag, man. You are pathetic. Get the fuck out of here and bring Snape here. Go. Don't look back at me. Go. Piece of shit. That's basically how it would happen if it was shot by, I don't know, J.J. Abrams. I mean, I would love to see a J.J. Abrams shot of that scene because, oh my gosh, man. Having have an American cast do this, and that's basically how it would go down. You are the most useless piece of shit. You freaking you mishandled my diary. That was very important to me, you son of a bitch. I send you to the freaking Department of Mysteries. Why couldn't you just go in there and get the freaking thing? These are kids, you idiot. How does a 15-year-old freaking beat you? Oh wait, his uncle. His godfather. Oh, why didn't you just kill him? You're throwing every other curse. Why didn't you? You are a freaking sad, pathetic piece of a Death Eater, man. You're not even a Death Eater, man. You might as well just take that freaking mark right off. You know what? I should take that mark off you. I just don't know how. But anyway, yeah, go get Snape. I prefer to have somebody who is of use. It's like what it just truly goes over how useless a freaking Malfoy is and how beaten and just pathetic he truly is. So then, what did you guys think of the fall of Malfoy, so to speak?
It's hilarious.
It was.
So many times we've been watching as he's just been looking down his nose at everybody because, you're not pure blood. Or you don't have the same wealth that I do or that kind of shit. And just to see him get slapped around like he was just a little bitch, I loved that.
Mm-hmm. Pure blood mania. What has it gotten you? A freaking half-blood just bitch slapped you, man. You're going to take that shit? So what did you think of it 24/7?
Actually, you can just tell that Malfoy he really didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And, but you could tell that because of the position that his parents were in, he had to roll with it or basically just die.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when he walked up to Voldemort and Voldemort hugged him, I was like, man, that's like a fucking lion hugging you. Like if you fuck up the wrong way, he'll fucking eat you right then and there. So
yeah,
you got to take that hug and just keep rolling, like, because that's basically he's the worst thing on your planet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sneeze the wrong way, your life is done. So
yeah. So what did you think of Malfoy or his father when he got bitch slapped by Voldemort down at the boathouse?
I was like, wow. Yeah. Well, the thing is, his father was talking too much.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like when he saw Voldemort all pissed, he should have just kept his mouth shut instead of just but sir, let me suggest all this, man, that shit, it got him bitch slapped. So I wouldn't have added anything extra to that shit. I just would have kept my mouth shut, let him blow off his steam, and if he was gonna fuck somebody up, let it be somebody that opened their mouth. I would have stayed out of his way. So
mm-hmm.
That's me.
So then we get a little bit more of the Battle of Hogwarts because we really haven't covered much of the battle. That's kind of that's my B, folks. Basically, you have Shacklebolt setting up a defense on one side, plus Fred and George and Arthur on that side too. Remus and Tonks are there. Now, Tonks was originally supposed to be with her son Teddy, but she came because she realized, well, her husband might need her. And when the barrier went down, it's a beautiful scene where you see her and Remus reaching out to each other and not quite touching. And it's very sad what happens later. But you see one guy coming in all snuffy you see the giants. When they come in, you see how people are casting killing curses at the bridge at the armored knights. And I do love, because it's straight out of the book, that's reflective armor on the knights. So when you see a killing curse go, or one dude launch a killing curse, it bounces off the freaking knight and hits another one of his comrades. It's like, oh damn, we can't throw spells at these things. Let the giants handle it. And the giants are bringing some pain too. One giant's coming right in, ready to get all rowdy. But oh wait, Mother Earth, Devil Snare comes up and just starts wrapping around that giant. Another giant or a couple other giants get on the bridge and start wrecking some of them. But those stone statues are nothing to throw sticks at, man. They're bringing the pain. They are bringing down giants. And you see Phileas Flitwick, brilliant dueling champion Flitwick. He's actually, for those of you who don't know, Phileas Flitwick is a dueling champion. He actually is a master duelist and he is the charms teacher. Yes, he is charms. Yes. And he's like, or he sees everybody coming at him. He's like, nope. I'm turning around and I'm getting the fuck off this bridge, man. And I'm just like, dude, fight back. I mean, it's like, from what I learned about Phileas Flitwick, from all the background and whatnot, it's like, you're a master frickin' duelist and you're turning and running. Shame on you, man. You do Phileas Flitwick. But hey, he's a little guy. He's got to get the hell out of there. He's got to kick rocks and get going. I don't blame him, but it's like, then I learned about Phileas Flitwick and I'm like, he should have been just blam, 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 barely even fucking looking, just knocking freaking Death Eaters gone. It was kind of, it's a hindsight 2020 irk, is what I call it. It's a hindsight 2020 irk, where you learn after the fact, and now it irks you because of what you learned after the fact.
I take stuff like that as this whole thing is basically told from a Gryffindor. Mm-hmm. So do I really believe that Phileas Flitwick would turn tail and run? Hell no.
Yeah. I believe he was a Hufflepuff too.
Nope.
He's a Hufflepuff.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Madame Pomfrey was Hufflepuff. Phileas Flitwick was the head teacher of Ravenclaw.
Yep. Damn it, how did I get that wrong? But yeah, well, still, yeah. Now, okay, 2020 irk is now, or the hindsight 2020 irk is now the hindsight 2020 irk. Oh, stop, wait, think about it now. I'm a freaking Ravenclaw too, and she's also a Ravenclaw. How the hell did I not realize that? So now after they just killed, or they're heading to the boathouse, and they're going through the Battle of Hogwarts now. One giant sees them, and it's like, ooh, kids, I'm fighting everybody else, but I see you three. I'm going to try smacking you. Missed. Oh, crap. Well, so then they try running over some rubble. They get turned around because, well, the Forbidden Forest has kind of gotten boring, and the Acromantulas decide to say, hey, let's get in on this magic too. Mm-hmm. It's like, Harry, you should have taught them the spell that you learned from Voldemort in year 2, Arania Exime, because it would have come in handy, because you see people throwing stunning spells at the spiders and it's not doing shit. And then they get to the main bridge and you see pretty much every Dementor coming at you. And I'm like, well, you guys might just pull your souls out of your mouth. You ain't going to stop that shit. Who comes up to save the day? Albus Dumbledore's brother, for the win. Aberforth casting the biggest freaking Patronus ever in all the freaking movies. Yes, Harry did the big stag in in year 3, but I think Albus or Aberforth's Patronus in the movie kind of outshone it. He sent every Dementor out.
Yes,
where did. There was only like maybe like a few dozen Dementors in the 3rd movie. Well, Aberforth just like freaking launched he launched like a planet-sized freaking Patronus, man. Like, holy shit!
It
No,
was
he
still a
is a
goat.
Dumbledore.
I mean, he is a
Yes, it
Dumbledore,
was
so therefore he is literally the goat.
the greatest of all time. Yes. And we got some messages. All right, yeah.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so they're like, okay, we're gonna get down there, and we're gonna just take a break while 24/7 takes a break for a second, and let's go through the chat. We got two people in the chat. Say hello. Good to
Really?
see you guys. Thank you for
Welcome back,
joining.
Soul
We're
Assassin.
talking Soul Assassin. Sorry for disappearance. My Wi-Fi went out.
No worries.
Did it? I'm joking, man. I'm glad your Wi-Fi's back. Are you sure it wasn't because you went over to Mara Jade's?
No,
I'm joking, buddy.
Soul Assassin is generally very good about showing up whenever.
Yes, I know.
I always see him when he's in the when I'm live streaming, and he is absolutely fantastic.
He really is. He's my best mod. I mean, he's good at. I said he plugs twice.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. And gosh, that can be taken. Even
I'm
Dan,
trying.
get your mind out of the magical gutter.
I live there.
I do too. But yeah, oh my gosh, man, there's just so many great scenes in this movie. But the Acromanculus is like, yikes. Glad Aragog's dead, because if I would have seen an Acromantula his size come in, it would have been like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out. But yeah, there's just it's just wow, man. But having freaking Aberforth Dumbledore come in for the save on that shot, that was just brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
One of the characters I did wish was in this was Neville's grandmother.
Yes.
She was at the Battle of Hogwarts. She was never in the freaking movies, only mentioned. I mean, I'm sorry, but if this woman is such a powerful witch and has a great wardrobe that we have seen Alan Rickman dress in, why couldn't we see her in the last movie?
I mean, she was enough of a badass to scare Neville.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
I
really wanted to see her let loose. Though I can't lie, when you see back at that scene where McGonagall finally has her wand up, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. When she cuts loose, that was just freaking awesome. Now, also, oh damn, another inconsistency I did not like was freaking. He's like, Neville's asking Harry and Ginny, have you seen Luna? Luna, I'm mad for her. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Don't go there. I feel like, it's like, I want to go tell her how I feel. We might be dead before. It's like, dude, no. Just no. That was just weird. Because if you know your Harry Potter lore, Luna and Neville, just friends. In fact,
True.
Luna gets together with Ralph Scamander, Newt Scamander's grandson. And they travel the world and they meet magical creatures long after the Battle of Hogwarts. But yeah, it's like Neville and Luna. No. I would have. Who would I put with Neville? Who did he end up with?
I'm not sure
I know
he
he ended
did.
up at Hogwarts.
Yes, he wound up being the herbology teacher.
Yeah. Happy Dinosaur 8000.
Hello.
You, sir, are awesome.
Love my dino. Such a sweetie.
I accidentally put him in timeout just now. I was trying to highlight this thing here. Yeah. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
I don't know.
A lot of ODF gets. What does ODF mean?
Not a clue. I think that was a autocorrect or a slip of the finger.
A lot. Oh yeah, a lot of scenes. If you're talking about, yeah, a lot of scenes. If you're talking about, this movie, objectively, is a good. It's a decent movie. There's just some bad writing, objectively speaking, but I do like it subjectively still. And Harry or Daniel Radcliffe, when he kisses Jenny and she's like, "I know," it's like, stop stealing from Star Wars. When I saw that and she's like, "I know," and it's like, I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. That's a Star Wars line. I'm sorry, but J.K. or whoever came up with this idea. Then I learned it's Daniel Radcliffe who actually came up with the idea to get a whole kiss scene going. And I'm like, okay, dude, if I ever meet you in real life, I'm going to smack you on behalf of all Star Wars fans for trying to get that line stolen from Star Wars. Yeah, shit bag. I mean, semi off the beaten track. It's widely known that Daniel Radcliffe also has TDS. So, yeah, after the whole Tom Brady thing, he freaked out just as much as Chris Evans did. And I'm like, man, aren't you British? Shut up. But anyway. But yeah, the scene, we never got to the blowing up of the bridge scene.
Boom.
Which, yeah, when the barrier goes down and that Snatcher's like, he's like, takes his wand, kind of moves away the flaming piece of barrier, takes a step forward. Neville's like, oh shit, and the Snatcher just smiles and he's like, ah! It's like, oh shit, run, Neville, run, run, yeah, run. Swoosh.
Yeah, Wingardium my asso.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wingardium my asshole just went Wingardium Leviosa. Anyway, excuse me. Yes, I'm a gentleman. I'll also say that after I toot my own horn from my butt. Yeah, folks, I just ripped one on camera. I usually mute it, but at this point, I didn't do it this time because I was laughing too much. Just to give you guys some great freaking, I'm pretty sure Lyndon will probably clip that.
Probably.
Wingardium Leviosa from my asshole. But yeah, now out of all of these wands, while we're waiting for 24/7 to come back, let's go over my wands again. Not those wands, you sick perverted people in the chat. I see you all. Now, when Snape actually saw McGonagall step forward and pull her wand, did you notice how he was like, he's like, and then he goes right back down. He's like, oh crap, I got these two idiots behind me still looking at me. Shit. Now I gotta fight this bitch. I really like McGonagall. She's a great witch. I don't like her that way, but she's a great witch, and I don't want to fuck with her. Now, in the book, that whole scene went down differently. I mean, frickin' Harry is using pretty much almost every frickin' unforgivable curse, except for the one that matters. I mean, he actually uses the Cruciatus curse on Electo Carroll when he spits in McGonagall's face in the book. He's like, you're part of the old guard, McGonagall. Crucio, motherfucker. And she's like, Potter! He's like, he just spat at you. Oh, like that's gonna do anything. What are you doing here? She's yelling at him in the book like it's like it's like she's his mom, basically.
You know, I understand why her role was reduced a lot for that movie
Yeah.
because she had a severe case of shingles while filming that.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Also, the freaking Nazi procession in the beginning of the movie was kind of weird. Or of the second movie, when you see Snape as headmaster and you see all the kids just kind of line going into Hogwarts, it's like, yeah, I noticed that symbolism. I
Mhm.
saw it in The Lion King.
Mm.
Yikes. They wouldn't be able to shoot a scene like that anymore, folks.
Nope.
You can thank Hollywood for that because, well, Hollywood, as much as they say that they're against fascism and all, yeah, let's just say that they kind of are the N words. And not that N word, but the NAZI word. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah, they's
much.
nasty.
Yeah, they nasty. But I do love how McGonagall's like, and his name is Voldemort Furious. You might as well use it. He's
Mhm.
gonna kill you either way, or he's gonna try to kill you either. I seriously cried like a bitch when she cast Pierre Totem Locomotor. It's like that is such a. I'll admit, folks, grown man, 35 years old. I cried like a little bitch.
It was a moving
That
scene.
scene.
It did give me the goosebumps.
Yeah, the score, the action,
Hmm.
the movement, it just worked. It just tugged at every freaking heartstring. Where that knight just comes down, looks up, another one comes down, looks up, another one comes down, looks. It's like we're
Hmm.
ready to die for you.
Yeah.
Point us at it.
And well said, Soul Assassin.
Yes,
McGonagall is
what you
one
say?
bad witch.
Yes, she is.
Hmm.
She was also one bad witch with shingles.
Yes. All the more reason she was a bad witch. I mean,
She was a
she.
badass, and
Mhm.
she was a badass witch. Yeah. But I get how what he means.
Mhm.
Oh, it was one bad witch. Well,
Yeah.
if it wasn't a Harry Potter film, she would have been one bad bitch.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can pick up on humor. I may be autistic, but I can sometimes pick it up on it. It might take me a little longer than most. I mean, I didn't because admittedly, I didn't pick up on it when he said one bad witch with the whole bitch
My
connection.
nephew's high functioning Asperger's, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. Me, I'm the same thing. I'm high
You
functioning.
need that sarcasm sign every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the original, or not the original, but the 2017 um, Power Rangers movie, and
Hmm.
they made Billy Blue Ranger autistic. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you so fucking much,
Hmm.
because it shows that a freaking Power Ranger can be autistic and still be a badass.
Yep.
And as much as I am against forced representation and all that stuff, that was actually a good representation. They didn't make it about a skin color; they just made it about what's going on up here.
The only thing that they made about a skin color that I found it hilarious
Mm-hmm.
is after they get their powers when they come up in the water. They come up in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy was the Asian one, I think, goes, yeah, I'm black. And Billy goes, no, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, he's back.
Yo, yo.
Hey.
Yo, yo. So we're going back down to the boathouse, and Snape is with Voldemort, and he's like, "You,"
Uh,
or, and he's basically buttering up Voldemort, trying to butter him up. He's like, and it's just not
yeah,
working. He's like,
yeah.
"Use the
Voldemort's
horn."
not buying that shit.
Yeah, he's like, you performed extraordinary magic in the last couple hours. He's like, no, I am extraordinary. Nothing more than my usual magic. But this wand is not fucking working. It's like, this fucking wand isn't fucking working. So you're a clever man. Why isn't it working, Snape? Why isn't it working? It answers to you, buddy. Ollivander said it himself. If the boy comes, it won't fail you. And he's looking at him. It answers to you and you alone. Does it?
Mm-hmm.
When he says does it, and that's when you see the crack in Snape. He's like, my lord, the other one. You're a clever man, Severus. This wand isn't answering to me because I'm not its true owner. Because I didn't kill its last owner. You killed Dumbledore. While you're alive, I can't master this wand. You've been he's getting ready to fire Snape. And by fire, well, I mean kill. And he's like, you've been a good and faithful servant, Severus, but only I can live forever. It's like, but only I can live forever. What? Was Snape trying to take that from you? No. Well, kind of. But he's like, he just whipped. He's like, there you go. I'm like, did he just slit his throat with a wand strike? Man, I mean, that's just creepy. Now, in the book, this whole scene goes out differently. First off, they're not in the boathouse. They're in the Shrieking Shack. Secondly, the Guinea is not on the ground. She's floating in some magical ball. Like a freaking Christmas ornament. That too. Yeah. There you go. Well, hey, that works with Matt's hat there, the Bulbasaur hat. Is that like supposed to be a shiny Bulbasaur? Because I'm seeing like a purple Bulbasaur.
No, that is Espeon.
I love Espeon. Oh, now I see it. Yep, there you go.
Yep.
Now, anyway.
I did this live yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining live.
Thank you, Donna.
So now he slits his throat and he's like, Nagini, kill. And Nagini just strike, and goes in for the final strike and just curls right up the snake while it's like, oh my God, man. And because they don't really show on the other side, they kind of show it obliquely. You don't see that scene where he's like this up against the damn thing. That is the scene, but which has become a meme everywhere, folks. I mean, if you would have seen the meme that AFK Bard sent me when I was telling her that I was going to show off all the wands, she's like, my body's ready. It's like, I ain't showing you that wand, honey. I mean, as much as AFK is beautiful, I do like the AFK. Shit. She is beautiful. But, yeah, I can't quite go that far yet. Moving on. So what'd you guys think of Snape biting the dust by Nagini and Voldemort?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Dino.
I'm more focused on Mad's braids. She looks so freaking cute with them. Yes, she does. I mean, seriously.
Yes.
I've always loved the dual braids. You know, since I was a kid, it's.
Gotta see those braids. Show those braids off. There you go. Yeah. And you show off that hair. That is awesome hair, man. And me.
Show off that hat.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That is what's up.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of that scene with Snape and Voldemort and how he just wastes Snape so he can try to master the wand?
Having, read the book, and by this point when I was reading the book, I had finished off I finished off like the last quarter of the book in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Unintentionally.
Right.
That whole scene, I mean,
Because yeah.
we're supposed to hate him in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it was such an awful, awful way. Like he was dispatched in a way that was really unbefitting for him.
1 second, please. No, you don't. No, you don't want to see what's under the hat. I already showed you all what's under the hat. I'm not showing you again. Maybe when I reach it out. That was when I was doing a versus stream. It's actually labeled in the versus stream. The hat comes off. But yeah, when I reached 500 subs, I went hat off. Lethal Lightning was so against that, and he's like, and so I decided to do a little things that I knew I would get clipped. I had my other orange hat on underneath this one, and so it's like, sorry, Lethal. It's like, oh wait, still have the hat on. And Lyndon Howell did a brilliant clip of it, and he added Chris Rock going, gotcha. But yeah, it's just a bald spot. Anyway, what'd you guys think of the scene? Go on, Matt. Continue.
Yeah, it was, for all the tension and everything we had been through with him throughout the whole series. It felt like such an unbefitting way for him to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was somebody who really was, you know, actually one of the most ideal dark arts teachers. He knew it like inside and out and better than most.
Yep.
And for just a neck wound and the snake bite, it was messed, even for somebody that you're supposed to hate in that moment.
Yeah. What did you think of it, Fusion? Knowing that Snape was always somebody that everybody loved to hate,
mm-hmm.
and suddenly seeing him come to an end, what did you think at that point?
You know, to be honest with you, something about it felt wrong. You know, when it happened, and you just didn't know why or how.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when Harry, you know, got the little
the tears or the tear
right, and but when he finally figured out what was what, and you know, as the audience, you got to really see what really happened to him, and how he really felt. Like, you know, like him, holding on to Harry's mom and crying and trying to figure out how the whole thing is gonna. Like he planned this whole thing out with
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, right? And just the whole shit. Then when you see all the behind the scenes stuff that those tears showed us.
Yep, the memory.
Man, that put such a bad pit in, you know, like it put a real bad feeling in you, you know.
Yeah.
That you know that what you thought you were looking at was completely, and it's funny because it was happening right before our eyes, and there was a bigger plot behind it all, and when you figured out what his involvement was,
to also figure out why.
It made you feel a particular way for the simple fact that as much as you thought he was an ass for like all those fucking movies, at the very end you saw that, and it actually it made sense because they not only did they show his involvement, but they also showed during different times in Harry's life that he was there trying to do something right, and you didn't know what it was, but then you get to see it all at the end. It really made you feel like shit because you thought he was an asshole when he was actually a great dude, and we didn't even. It's kind of like the same thing that happened with his uncle.
Sirius Black.
Yeah, the prisoner of Azkaban or whatever. Yeah, when you see that shit, you thought this guy was a piece of shit, but when you get to see the flip side of it all, this guy was actually a pretty damn good dude, and that's the same thing that happened with Snape, and the way we all found out, it was, I guess, the way it was filmed and the way it was shot, the way it was told, and when you get to see it unfold, it hits home a little bit more.
It does. Going through Snape's memories and knowing that Snape had met Lily as a child, had been absolutely smitten with her, had cared for her to such a degree. Now, there is the part during those memories where Snape had brought or heard part of the prophecy and sent it to, or told Voldemort about it, and Voldemort was going after the Potters, and Dumbledore comes in, no, don't kill me. And he's like, the prophecy never referred to a woman. It referred to a child born at the end of July. Yes, but he thinks it's her son. Hide them all. Originally in the book, he only cared about Lily's. So he's like, hide her. He's like, what about the boy? What about her husband? Hide them all then. Just keep them safe. And what will you give me? Anything. I mean, right then is when Snape turned, because he pleaded for Voldemort to actually spare Lily, and in a very uncharacteristic move, Voldemort actually agreed. He only wanted to kill one person that night.
Mm-hmm.
Harry. He didn't care about James. He didn't care about Lily. Or actually, he cared enough about Lily to do that one good thing for Snape, who had brought him such a very important information. And he didn't understand that Snape loved Lily. He thought that Snape only desired her. Now, so as they're going through the memories, you see Petunia or younger Petunia and whatnot, and how she's calling her sister a freak. And that's not exactly how it went down in the book. I mean, she only started calling her sister a freak when she realized she couldn't go to Hogwarts. Because, believe it or not, Petunia she was kind of jealous of her sister because she wanted to go to Hogwarts, even though she thought her sister was different and whatnot. But because she couldn't, she developed hatred for her sister. Now, you also see that Snape always was looking out for her, but there was one scene that they did not shoot the full scene of, that you see in Snape's worst memories in the 5th movie, where James and the Marauders are picking on Snape, where Lily actually comes to stop him. And that's when Snape uses the term mudblood against Lily. And that's what really breaks Lily's heart and separates her caring for Snape. Now, the whole scene, or most of the scenes in this movie, or in this moment in the movie, do have inconsistencies, because you're supposed to be seeing, when you're in the memories of these things, you're supposed to be seeing the memories from a certain point of view, mostly Snape's point of view. Yet you're seeing parts that that he wasn't there for. you're seeing Voldemort killing Lily. You're seeing Lily saying how Harry is so loved, basically activating the magic that will protect him and whatnot. But it is important storytelling. It is very important that this be shown,
Mhm.
and how he is cradling her, and how much he was broken when she was killed. And Dumbledore said it. Lily and James put their faith in the wrong person, which was Pettigrew, not Sirius. And he's like, she has her, or he has her eyes. If you truly loved her, no one can know that. Then I'll never reveal the best of you, Severus. And how he's always going off on the boy. And then when it goes over the curse on Dumbledore's hand, and how it will spread, and he only has a year to live, and he tells Snape the truth, because Dumbledore realizes he's not going to be able to tell, or live long enough to tell Harry, as much as I've been raising you and helping you, yeah, you gotta die. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you, but there's just no real way to tell you. You gotta die. I'm sorry, buddy. And it really is a sad way. It's like, so you've been raising him like a pig for slaughter. And he's like, don't tell me that after all this time you've come to care for the boy. And that moment when he casts the dough and Dumbledore sees it and it goes out the window, which is basically just as they say in the book. And he's like, Lily, after all this time, always. And that actually comes on later when Harry sees his parents and Lupin and Sirius in the woods. And he's like, stay close to me. And she's like, always. It's a good way of tying in Snape and Lily, even in death. And seeing Snape's memories and those moments, the music, and how it was just brilliantly done. So Snape, or not Snape, but Harry is going down and starting to head to the forest. But before we get to that, we are going to go past 11:30 most likely, folks. This is going to be a longer stream because it is a finale. I do want to go over the casualties that are in the Battle of Hogwarts. During a scene, we do see that Fenrir Greyback is munching on somebody, and that happened to be Lavender Brown. So we know that she died. No,
not necessarily.
Well, she was unmoving.
She was not confirmed dead.
She was not confirmed dead? Okay, Lavender Brown, not confirmed dead. So she's not in the casualties anymore. So when they go and they actually...
There was an ongoing debate as to whether she survived or not, and if she did, whether she became a werewolf.
She definitely wouldn't be a werewolf, because she would be half, kind of like Bill Weasley, because of Fenrir only being partially transformed.
Mm.
Now, Parvati Patil, not Padma, but Parvati, she is confirmed dead, because Padma was being comforted by Madame Trelawney in the scene where they were showing all the different casualties. Fred Weasley, the one that had both of his ears, died. Remus and Lupin and Tonks died. Tonks was confirmed killed by Bellatrix Lestrange. Remus, I learned, he was killed by Dolohov. Now, for those of you who don't know who Dolohov is, he was one of the Death Eaters that found Harry, Ron, and Hermione in a pub or in a coffee shop after Hermione said Voldemort's name during the Jinx in the first movie. And instead of killing him and Raoul, they wiped their memories to protect Ron, mostly. So Lupin was killed by Dolohov, and Nymphadora was killed by Bellatrix because Bellatrix saw Nymphadora as a complete dishonorment of her family because her twin sister Andromeda was or married a Muggle-born, and Bellatrix and Andromeda were both members of the House of Black with their pure blood mania. So it does suck when you see them dying, and Ron's reaction to Fred dying got me tearing up a little bit too, because it sucked. It's like, why couldn't you kill the one with the bad ear? You know? And also I learned that J.K. Rowling actually regrets killing him.
She does.
Yeah.
He was one of the many that she's mentioned in the annual memorial that she posts on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
She actually also...
Go on.
Sorry. She did also add Dobby 1 year on the list.
Yep. I mean, Dobby, like I said in the last one, I cried like a bitch when he died.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think there was a dry eye in the theater when he died.
No.
Now, but seeing that, or that scene is also very pivotal because it's showing Harry that these people died to protect him.
Oh, and
he...
Hold up. Good night, my Dino.
Good night, Dino.
Sorry.
It's okay. I should be paying more attention to the chat. I'm sorry about that, folks. And we got 3 people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. So, when Harry goes down, originally, or in the book, he only runs into one person, and that's Neville. And he's like, Neville, there's a snake that Voldemort has. And he's like, you want me to kill a snake? Kill the snake. Because you also learn that Neville, this whole Harry Potter universe could have been the story of Neville Longbottom and the Sorcerer's Stone, Neville Longbottom and the Chamber of Secrets, Neville Longbottom and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It could have been all about him because the prophecy fits Neville and Harry because they're both born at the end of July. Their parents both defied the Dark Lord 3 times, and it was only Harry that he chose to mark as his equal. So that's why it's Harry Potter instead of Neville Longbottom and the Deathly Hallows and all that stuff. So Harry actually decided is like, give Neville a shot, you know? And so heading down, it's Ron and Hermione, and he's like, there's a reason why I can hear them, the Horcruxes. I think I've known for a while, and I think you have too, where he actually confronts Hermione. Hermione figured it out too, that he was a Horcrux.
Yep.
But how honestly could she have told him, you know? And so she offers the last, or the one only offer that she could, I'll go with you. No, kill the snake. And it's a very touching moment when he reunites with his mom. Now, everybody keeps saying that Harry has Lily's eyes. That is a good thing in the book. But if you look at the actress that plays Lily Potter and you look at Daniel Radcliffe, what color eyes are Daniel Radcliffe? Green? Yes. What color eyes is Lily Potter on screen?
I didn't
brown.
Pay attention, yeah.
What color eyes are James Potter's eyes? He doesn't. People, you screwed this up bad. He has his father's eyes in the freaking movies.
Well, they tried doing contacts with Daniel Radcliffe, but
they did, but it failed miserably.
Wear them.
Yeah. But it's like, oh my god, how could you freaking screw that up?
But
You should have
that's
put they should have put the contacts in her eyes.
they should have. They should have, yes. But that's the thing when, especially after you see Snape's memories,
Mm-hmm.
is when you go back afterwards and you realize why Snape wanted to look in Harry's eyes as he died.
Yep, look at me, because it's going to be Lily's eyes looking back at him.
Yes.
And he says, you have your mother's eyes. In the movie, he says that. He actually dies when he says, or he's like, look at me. And then he's able to pass on.
Yeah.
Neville Longbottom doesn't sell tickets. Soul Assassin. Yeah. Yeah, Neville does it. Or does
Okay.
it was a roll of dice to say, yeah. Yeah.
While we're paused on that for a second, Freeman Mike has a question that I can answer.
All right. What's this
He
question?
sees everyone as a Force ghost, ignoring that that's Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
But to say, but not Snape, the one guy holding up to the end. Why? The stone, the resurrection stone, has the ability to bring back those who mean a lot to you. And, Remus, Severus, yes, those were like secondary fathers to him. He had always, yes.
You said Severus. Sorry.
Did I? Oh,
yes, you did.
Sorry, Sirius. They were like secondary fathers. They were literally the one actually really was his godfather. He had always dreamed about about his parents, so they meant a lot to his heart. But Snape was, the constant protagonist in his life. He didn't realize until after the fact how much Snape actually looked out for him. So that draw would not have been there with the Resurrection Stone.
Yes. So, as Snape did become an important figure in his life in the end, at that point when he used the Resurrection Stone, he wasn't that important yet. He was still processing that truth. It was still a shock to him. But not that it mattered, because Harry thought that he was going fully into the forest to die. And he was ready to die. Which brings us into the Forbidden Forest, where Voldemort basically uses the mother of all Avada Kedavras and just blasts Harry with a spell that is like this fucking thick from finger to wand here, folks.
Yep.
Was about as thick as that blood. Avada Kedavra! And it blasts both of them off their feet. We're in King's Cross. Harry sees a screwed up looking Voldemort death thing. The last piece of the soul that was of the Horcrux that Voldemort never intended to make. And they give the abridged version of that scene too, because there's a lot more stuff in that scene that they talk about. Grindelwald, or he actually does talk with Dumbledore about Grindelwald and other things as well. How Dumbledore, Aberforth, and Grindelwald, all three of them cast a killing curse at each other, but Ariana caught the end of one of them, and nobody knows who cast that or which one of them hit it or hit her. That's why when he was drinking that potion in the 6th book and the movie, where he's saying, it's all my fault, that was what he was reliving. And also even Harry put it together. When I asked him in my first year what he saw in the Mirror of Erised, I realized that was a deeply personal question. And when he said, I see myself holding a pair of socks. Well, no, what he honestly really saw was his sister Ariana alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
So then Harry asked, is this real or is this all in my head? Of course it's real, but why can't it be in your head? Or, of course, it's in your head, but why can't it be real? And I thought that was a beautiful scene. And then we get snap back to reality, like what's his name says in that crazy ass song.
Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem. Whoop, snap back to reality. Yeah, Voldemort wakes up. I don't need your help. Get the fuck off me, bitch. Didn't she just give birth to your kid like last year, Voldemort? Oh, that's something you guys don't know. Cursed child and all. Yeah, Voldemort and Bellatrix did the nasty.
Yeah.
They did some. He introduced her to his wand, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, they got all.
His slithering wand. Yeah. Bellatrix and Voldemort have a kid.
Streets, slithering in the sheets. Yeah.
Yeah. Voldemort and Bellatrix had a kid. Yeah, it's in the book, The Cursed Child. It's 24/7. Your freaking expression, dude. Make that expression again, man, for the audience. That was beautiful. It's like, what? I'm sorry, I had to, dude.
Gotta get down.
It was like that. But yes. And actually, if you go back to the 5th book, Harry actually realizes that Voldemort is feeling something that is like elation and joy. And there are so many freaking theories that he just found out that Bellatrix is pregnant. It's like he wouldn't care unless he was under either a love potion or something. Otherwise, I don't even know how he'd be able to get his little snake up. But
yeah, the elation and joy was probably the making of the. Just saying.
Yeah, possibly, but the dude's incapable of love, so I don't even know how he'd be able to get it up. But anyway, back to the movie where he just shoves Bellatrix. He's like, I don't need your help. Just shoves her. He literally shoves her to the side. And she's like, the kid or the boy, is he dead? And freaking Narcissa basically does fuck all to every single Death Eater and Voldemort himself. Reaches in, feels a heartbeat. Is he alive? Draco, is he alive? She cares not 1 ounce about anything else except for the love of her son. And she is willing to look the Dark Lord straight in the eye, the most powerful Legilimens in the world, and say, he's dead. Now, in the book, Voldemort uses the Cruciatus Curse. He is so fucking happy. Yada, yada. He's like, watch. No, you know what? I'll even use my fucking wand because I brought these things down. He's like, nobody can stand against me. Watch. Crucial. And Harry doesn't feel it. Harry is literally so numb, he doesn't feel the Cruciatus Curse.
Yep.
Which is, oh, I see a little kitten.
There's nothing little about this kitten.
Yeah, I know. He's a beautiful tiger.
Meow.
It's a he.
That's a he.
It's
Generally, when you
That's a
see a
he.
ginger, it's a boy.
Ah, gotcha.
When I see a what?
Come here, handsome. A ginger.
Hmm.
An orange
So-
cat.
Yeah. But yes, so they bring him back, and Ginny's like, Neville, who's that in his hands? Neville, who's that? Hagrid's here. Harry Potter is dead. And you literally see Voldemort doing a fucking jig. Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Quit walking on the
I mean, you see Voldemort do a fucking jig while gloating over killing Harry Potter. Yeah. And now is the time all you to declare yourself. Bring it on. Bring on the love. And we get to the point that 24 touched on earlier where frickin' Malfoy is called forth and he gives Malfoy a hug and it's like,
Right.
and I'm in the theaters thinking to myself, stop this fucking movie. This isn't Harry Potter. Because this is just fucking weird. where's Neville Longbottom? Why isn't he trying to kill that damn snake? And whatnot. But Neville has his moment. And there's a split second while he's talking and saying that Harry's heartbeat for all of us and whatnot, and this is not over, when he pulls the sword of Gryffindor out of the hat, Nagini reacts. She's like, or she hisses at Neville, but you only see it for a split second because they cut back to Neville with the sword. Mm-hmm. And then you see freaking Harry just roll out of Hagrid's arms, and you see Voldemort like, what the fuck?
Like son of a...
It's like, no, 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 give me fuck, no. And you see him, he's like, trying to blow Harry up sky high with, I'm guessing, probably Bombarda Maximo, a little mix of Incendio, and just sheer plain old hatred. And this is where all the Death Eaters just start taking off. They're like, no, fuck this, I'm out. You just killed that bastard with the mother of all killing curses. He's still alive, I'm out. Mm-hmm. And as all of them are taking off, if you pay attention to Narcissa with Draco, she just grabs his hand and just starts walking. Mm-hmm. She's like, no, fuck this, I'm out. I'm protecting my kid. And then you see frickin' Lucius, Queen Bitch Lucius, looking back, he's like, yeah, I'm out of here too, man. Fuck this. Fuck Voldemort. I'm out of here. It's like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be welcome back into the family anytime there, Lucius. I mean, I don't think Narcissa even wants to take you back at this moment. But yeah, it's just really fucking nuts. And so, the Battle of Hogwarts rages on. And this is where I really I prefer the book when it comes to Harry versus Voldemort to the movie, because Harry is under the cloak because Voldemort didn't see him move. He was under the cloak and casting protective charms every time Voldemort threw a curse at people. And then you get the battle of all fucking battles. Bellatrix Lestrange versus Molly Weasley.
I was hoping that's the one you're referring to.
And she freaking gets, not my daughter, you bitch. So she throws a curse at freaking Bellatrix. She's like, what the fuck did you do? Okay, it's on, bitch. And you see Molly like backpedaling, like, oh shit, it's real, I'm out. But nope, she handled it well. And then if you truly pay attention to the colors of those curses she has thrown, she threw not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 fucking killing curses at Bellatrix Lestrange.
That's not what she killed her with, though.
I know, she killed her with a combination, or a 1-2 combination. One with Petrificus Totalis, and 2 with Bombarda or Reducto.
Reducto.
Yep.
It had same color, same reaction as when Ginny destroyed the Ministry of Magic.
Oh yeah, the Hall of Prophecy. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we know where she gets her strength from her mom. But yeah, and when you see freaking Molly Weasley cutting loose, and in the book, when Molly kills Bellatrix, it is actually in the book, it's a killing curse that kills Bellatrix.
Yeah.
And Voldemort just loses his shit. And that's where he goes, and it's a completely different. At this point, it's completely different, folks. It is completely different from the movie. The movie, this is the biggest divergence from the book, where Voldemort is basically grabbing Harry, bitch slapping him, kicking him, grabbing him and throwing him and whatnot. And the snake is still alive at this point too, by the way, in the movie. And Harry's freaking Voldemort's like, trying to hit him with a bunch of freaking killing curses, and it's just not working. And Harry's just blocking all these killing curses, which we're told that is unblockable. And I'm like, I would have preferred the book, because it was more of a predator stalking kind of predator kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong. This was a good movie battle. And Harry's battling frickin' Voldemort, and then he sees Nagini sneaking up on him, and he's ready to frickin' kill Nagini. And he literally goes right up to that frickin' snake with that basilisk thing. It's like, right, you're going to stab that snake. That snake's pretty damn quick, kid. But Voldemort puts an end to that real quick by shooting his from his fucking hand, a magic blast out of his hand, and then blasts the fang, and just continues just bitch slapping Harry in the astronomy tower. And so, what'd you all think of that scene?
I think from now on, I'm not going to be able to watch that scene without seeing Voldemort, without seeing you going. Nyeh, 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 nyeh.
I know. Well, if you look at Voldemort doing that, he's like, he's literally.
I'm going to see that every time now. It's like I watched Titanic, and a friend of mine in high school. He said to me, when that scene when the guy bounces off the rudder, I'm like, oh God, what did you do? He goes, they're in the theater. I'm like, plinko. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Now I hear that every time.
Yeah. But so, what did you guys think of that part, all up to that part, before the final bit? Because there is a real thing that I want to talk to after this part that leads to the final battle.
First of all, I want to touch on the King's Cross Station thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is the fan theory, and I am going to touch on that Dumbledore actually is Death in that scene.
Okay.
Because got to think of the story of the Deathly Hallows, and the owner of the cloak. He lived to a ripe old age and was greeted by death as a friend in the end. And that's actually the whole thing that really wasn't. That's why the fan theory is it really wasn't Dumbledore. It was Death greeting him as a friend,
as an equal. Yeah.
Yes. And that that's why JK's never really touched on whether that fan theory is true or not, but I like that one and I stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also fits in the movie because if you think about it, Death wouldn't know Dumbledore's backstory, but Death would know certain things because he would be a observer of life as well, because he would be paying attention to Harry's life. So yes, it does make sense. That does kind of make sense.
I loved the scene in the courtyard. First of all, watching Draco have that moment of...
I dropped my wand.
Having that moment of hesitation.
Yeah.
Where you see full out, he did not want to join. He wanted to defy his parents.
Yep.
That was that, and Neville having that full on redemption arc with him pulling out the sword of Gryffindor, knowing only a true Gryffindor could do that. Because right up until that moment, many people had said, many of the fans had said that he really should be in Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
And that alone was just beautiful. But yeah, Molly versus Bellatrix are strange. Oh. That was one of those fight scenes you did not realize you needed until it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like you needed to see it as soon as it happened.
Yeah. So, Fusion, what did you think of all those, or the courtyard, the Molly versus Bellatrix, the beginning of Harry Potter versus Voldemort, Harry Potter? What did you think of all that stuff so far?
I agree with Matt. No, actually, I I thought it was actually pretty. I mean, the way it all worked itself out, it was, it was golden. I think
Blocking my light.
that when it came down to the final showdown,
Mhm.
and people were,
Oh,
especially it was like, what's his name, Nettle Longbottom, is
mhm.
is that
Neville,
is that his
yeah,
name? Yeah,
Neville with a V.
it was, it was when he was talking, basically, when I rewatched it, I was, it felt like he was gonna say, um, it felt like it felt like he wanted to say something along the lines like, "Hey, you guys, you guys believe in this piece of shit," like talking about Voldemort, and it felt like he just wanted to say, "Hey, even though they thought that Harry was dead, don't let a piece of shit like him, take over." And the fact that he was so adamant, the character of I think that was another thing that had made it so powerful. The character of Nettle Longbottom.
Yeah,
If you watched him throughout the movies, and you checked out his character, for him to take such a bold stand at the very end, it's not like him, but he did it, and he showed what kind of man he was. And they kind of upped the ante, that when there were people that you thought that were more stronger willed than him, wouldn't even step up when he did. It showed a lot about him. It showed a
yeah,
lot about him and his character. Where his heart was at. And for that being said, you saw that a lot of different times in a lot of different ways with these movies. At different times, when you thought that there was no hope in certain situations, you would find hope in the hopeless.
hmm
And when you would see that arise, it brings more of a bewilderment, of a mystique. It brings something different to the bottom line of the scene of what we're watching, and just to see it go down the way it did. It was quite entertaining, and and it stood for something.
yeah. No,
So
hmm go ahead.
no, 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 I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good. I was just saying it.
all right.
He it made a very powerful statement.
It does. It truly
Yeah.
does.
Right.
Now, Harry or Hermione and Ron are trying to kill the snake,
Right.
and Hermione is trying to lead Nagini so that Ron could get a good stab. Well, they botched that up and they dropped the last basilisk fang. Um, then they're getting chased by the snake, and that's where Neville has his moment, kills Nagini, and all this time, or during this time, Harry and Tom Riddle are arguing about the wand and whatnot, and then fly around Hogwarts before landing in the courtyard for their final bit. This is the one thing that I wish I could have put on a clip or something, because my Chromebook won't let me do it. It will kick me out or will kick out my other profile if I do.
Mhm.
Ron casts one last spell at Nagini before Neville cuts her head off. If you notice the color of the spell, you will notice it is a particular shade of green. Did Ron Weasley try using a killing curse on Nagini? I have asked so many freaking Harry Potter YouTube channels this. Harry Potter Theory, Harry Potter Folklore, Movie Flame. I have asked all three of these guys, trying to get their thoughts on this, because these guys are big freaking Harry Potter geeks. And it's like, do you think of the movie that Ron Weasley tried using a killing curse on Nagini? And I haven't gotten a single I've been asking these guys for about a week or two. Not crickets right now, folks. Crickets. And it's like, did Ron seriously try? I mean, now I can understand why it would fail, because one, she's a Horcrux. She can't use conventional magic on Horcruxes, not even the killing curse. And two, it probably bounced off because he didn't put all of his meaning behind it. He's like, fucking, I'm about to die. I might as well go for broke. Avada Kedavra. But it's like, that's what's bothering me about that one scene. Now, also, in the book, in the movie, I am seriously not fond of Voldemort's death. How he just ashes away like a fucking vampire. I'm like, no. Regardless of what he is still human. Give him a fucking human death. Make his body splayed leg out like he was dead in the book. Do not also make it so he actually tries killing himself, or make it so he actually does kill himself, because that's what happens in the book. It is explained in the book that he is not the master of the Elder Wand. Harry is actually the master of the Elder Wand, because Harry disarmed the actual master of the Elder Wand, which was Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy in the 6th movie and book disarmed Albus Dumbledore. That's when Elder Wand changed allegiances from Dumbledore to Draco. Then when Harry disarmed Draco in Malfoy Manor, it went from Draco to Harry. So, yeah, the wand was always failing Voldemort because, well, Voldemort was kind of a dick, and he wasn't really the master of the wand, and he had tried to use he tried to kill the master of the wand with the wand. So in the book, the spell rebounds again and kills. So Voldemort kills himself. As much as everybody loves to look at Harry like he's the guy that beat Voldemort twice, and he's this all-powerful motherfucker, he is so freaking plain. Yeah. Voldemort killed himself twice. I'm sorry, I can't bend my pinky. But Voldemort killed himself twice. There, I'll use my left hand because I can bend that pinky. Yeah, he killed himself twice. Voldemort killed himself, folks. I hate to say it, he killed himself. But they had to make it all freaking dramatic. And then they are, instead of going up and using the wand, this freaking wand, most powerful wand in the world, to repair his own, like they do in the book, what does Harry do? What does fucking Harry do? Harry goes up, he's like, it's mine. Yeah, mine. Snap. And I'm like, I'm half expecting Ron to just jump off the fucking cliff to go after the wand. I was seriously half expecting that in the movie when I saw that.
Yeah, no, I was mad when he didn't repair his wand.
Yeah, I was so. It's like, this is where I was ready to walk out of the theater. I honestly was ready to walk out right at. It's like, yeah, they're going to sing Amazing Grace, or Ron's going to jump off the bridge going after those wand pieces. Which one is it? Neither sadly happened, but then they do the epilogue, which we'll get into after you guys give your thoughts on the Ron Weasley trying to cast a killing curse, failing miserably, and the final battle between Voldy and Harry. So, Mads, take it away.
I'm with you. And Soul Assassin put it pretty much
Bunch
right
of
on
assholes.
the spot.
Pulled the
Pulled
Palpatine,
Palpatine
hit himself.
and hit himself.
Yeah.
Stop tapping yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like
Yes.
these idiots never learn. But yeah, continue.
No, but when he didn't repair the wand, man, that made me so mad because it was, for me, that was the final piece that just made it felt right, because that's all
And
he
yes, she
wanted.
was.
He just wanted his wand.
Yep. That was the one that had, it had a phoenix feather core.
Mhm.
And he was very fond of that damn wand. So, but yeah, do you think that Ron actually tried casting a killing curse?
I actually never noticed it, but I think that it is entirely possible. I mean, both Ron and Harry wind up becoming Aurors after this whole thing.
Yep. So, Fusion, what do you think of all the scenes, all the way up to Ron trying to cast a killing curse, to Ron not jumping off a bridge going after that wand like, "You're an idiot, Harry! Mine!" And Voldemort killing himself. What did you think?
It was a lot going on at that time. I'll be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was actually a pretty good conclusion to just the whole storyline. Like, for it to boil down to that, to come to that. This movie pulled out a lot of different stops, and it didn't leave anything unanswered, or for the most part, or they didn't leave a stone unturned.
Yeah.
I just I believe that the way it all went down, it made sense, and I already know, I mean, even you told us that there were a lot of things that were not the same as it happened in the book, but for it to be a coherent story and for it to be everything that we saw on the screen, I think that it actually it worked out quite well. And
Yes.
only like to be real, like you and Mads, you could probably sit me down and tell me, hey, look, between the movie and the actual book, this is what happened, this is what was the difference. And like I said before, with me, I guess I'm viewing this, and I hate to say it, I guess I'm viewing this in the light of a normie. And I'm not normally a normie when it comes to a bunch of shit. If there's something I like, I'm die hard about it. I know it, and I do like Harry Potter. Just, I hate to say it, but I'm just, there's a lot of things about Harry Potter that a lot of people would know a lot more about it than I would.
Yeah.
But so I'm coming at this shit from a movie perspective, than knowing about it from from an overall perspective, as far as like reading the books and everything else.
To be fair, you are, sitting with two Ravenclaws that
Yes.
know way too much.
Yes.
Well, shit. But I'm rocking with the best. So I'd rather be with you in Orange Hat, and and we're good. So I mean, I just know what, how can I say this? I just know what the flip side of it was, just seeing it from one perspective, when I know that there's yeah, there's the movie and there's the books, and I'm only looking at it from the movie aspect of it all, and that's and to be fair, that's what kind of hurts. What I have to say, to a degree, because I'm not looking at it from the overall perspective. I'm looking at it from one side, and shit, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's understandable, man.
Mm.
So we're going to move on to the epilogue, and then I want to give one of my theories. So the epilogue takes place 19 years later. Now, if you know the story of Harry Potter, he was born in 1980. And he graduated Hogwarts in he never graduated Hogwarts. Year 7 was in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
So 19 years later was 4 years ago for us, 2016. So he has his family, and they're all going through platform 9 3/4. Albus Severus Potter. Now, Albus Severus Potter, you were named after 2 headmasters of Hogwarts, and one was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I've ever known. If you look at if I remember from Cursed Child, which I did not read the book, but I did hear about it, he was placed in Slytherin house.
His initials are ASP.
ASP. ASP. I was getting to that. It's like, how the fuck does nobody pick up on this? And it's like, how the fuck did nobody pick up on it? Because it's like, Albus. So, man, that is a cruel joke for that kid. That is just cruel. That's like giving a nod to Voldemort. But anyway, so
I don't think he really thought it through. When it came to picking out that name.
I know.
JK, on the other hand, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, she is.
Yeah, I was just about to say something about JK, so you took the words right out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, JK, I'm pretty sure she planned that. Albus Severus Potter, ASP. Yet your ass is going in Slytherin. I mean, then you finally see that chocolate frog that jumped out of the window in the first movie turn up at the end of this movie when all the kids from the Weasleys to the Malfoy kid, Scorpius. Lovely name for a kid, Scorpius.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah. And all this time, Delphine Riddle is roughly 20 years old or something like that. Because it's 19 years later, Delphine Riddle, Voldemort's child, is actually 1 year old during the Battle of Hogwarts.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something you would actually have to look up on YouTube, because I'm not going to get too much into it. We are 3 hours already, folks. We are, like I said, this is going longer because it's the finale. Now, I do want to get to one theory that drove me nuts. And it's kind of a resolved story that I wrote myself about Hermione Granger. There is no way that Hermione Granger, as smart as the girl is, would have not been affected deeply by the torture she endured at the hands of one Bellatrix Lestrange. Now, she was not tortured for days like the Longbottoms were, but realistically, she would have had a psychotic break. And I actually did write a little story where she actually did have a psychotic break, still using this wand because she never got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the wand of Bellatrix, kind of like a cursed kind of wand because it's so cruel. She literally went on a revenge mission to go after all the freaking Death Eaters and just start killing. I had to give Hermione Granger a dark side. And boy, did she. In my little theory, it's like, how does she not have some sort of trauma from this sort of torture that she endured? She had the word mudblood carved into her arm. She had the Cruciatus curse numerous times placed on her.
Mm-hmm.
How did she not have a psychotic split or break or something?
She probably did.
She's Minister of Magic in
Yes.
later years.
That doesn't mean in the 19 years in between that she didn't.
I mean,
Some people have the ability to process after the fact,
mhm,
and it wouldn't surprise me if she had that ability.
mhm.
With everything that we've seen her, throughout the whole growing up, throughout Hogwarts,
Yeah.
she can
Compartmentalize.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
English not working. Yeah, she's already shown that ability, and it's not a far jump to be able to do that with with a trauma like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, folks, I know I never said this, but please feel free to put a spell on that like button. I didn't even turn on my banner tonight. Just goes to show you how having to do this on a Saturday kind of just threw me off my mojo. But yeah, folks, that is one of my little theories that I have. Also, I heard that the Toad Face, Dolores Umbridge, she got sacked from the Ministry of Magic and put in Azkaban for the rest of her life because of the bolster and blood status. But they never resolved it the way I wanted it resolved, with her going to trial for trying to use an unforgivable curse on Harry.
Honestly, I wouldn't complain if somebody. Oh, we lost him. This is my show now. There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong button.
It's okay.
Honestly, you were what?
It honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if, that what I really would have loved to have seen, and this is the dark side coming out in me.
Mm-hmm.
Having her tied to 4 centaurs and somebody yelling "mush."
Yes. Oh, the death by stretch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I would have loved to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
To be 100% honest, I mean, because like that meme said, admit it, y'all wanted her dead more than Voldemort.
Yep.
But yeah, folks, we are going to start wrapping this up because I do got to get going to bed soon, and I do want to thank my
I do have one
lovely
question
panelists.
for you before we
Yes.
wrap up. Have you seen Peter Pettigrew's wand yet?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
No, I have not. If you have a picture of it, share it.
Yeah. I can send it into our chat. If not, you. Yeah.
I can screen share it if you have it.
Peter. I'll have to learn how to do that. Pettigrew wand.
I believe his wand is in Noble Collection, but
no.
Yeah. Speaking of wand lore, while we wait for Mads to do that, everybody knows about the twin core thing and how they cannot duel each other. But if you if you're doing a 2-on-2 duel with 2 twin cored wands, their powers increase tenfold with each other. Isn't that beautiful? Just letting y'all know. Now, while we continue to wait, I'm going to ask Mads while she searches, how would you rate this movie out of 10?
Honestly, I'd put it at like a 9.5.
9.5. Fusion, if you're still listening.
There we go. There's a
You
couple
found it?
designs, but the one is just absolutely stunning.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's see what this baby looks like. Add to stream.
That
Oh,
that is a snake.
That is a very snaky. Yeah,
It is stunning.
real one there, and it's on eBay.
It's
No thanks.
on another site as well. They actually sell them in the Marauders in the full set.
Oh, nice.
See, there's
Because I do got Lupins. I don't have Siriuses. I know that James Potter has one that has spiderweb look on it. Yeah, go to noblecollection.com, folks. You'll actually see all their wands. But I've never seen Peter Pettigrew's wand looking like that. That is pretty cool.
That is gorgeous. That's the other design
that is the one that
come up.
I think that's the one that actually Ron used the killing curse on freaking Nagini with. Holy shit.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. Holy shit. That is pretty cool.
I haven't let the little one see that because she will want it. No, not spending that money.
How old's the little one?
Yeah, she's 7.
Oh, she'll want a wand.
Oh yeah, I've already got some old chopsticks kicking around, and picked up some dollar store rubber snakes. I'm gonna make her a little Slytherin wand.
Oh, nice. Well, thing is, if you ever do want to get her a wand, Noble Collection, the authentic ones, the authentic replicas, these things only run for like less than $40.
Gotta remember, Canadian, so shipping was gonna kill me.
There's a Noble Collection place in Canada.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Go to noblecollection.com.
I'll check it out.
And you can pick your area. And you'll probably have it in like 2 days or 3 days or 6 days or something like that. But yeah, I'm using USD, obviously. I don't know the current currency exchange for Canada to American. But yeah, these things are, he just put it, or Soul Assassin just put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, if you actually want, you can actually get things like the Sword of Gryffindor, Malfoy's walking stick, Dumbledore's Deluminator. It does not shut off lights. I'm sorry. I know. I tried. But hey, man,
I still want to get a Tribble that's been fixed. So
yeah. You can also get the Horcrux ring. You can get Salazar Slytherin's locket. You can get Hufflepuff's cup. You can get even Ravenclaw's diadem. You can't get Harry Potter, sadly. I mean, as much as the women love Daniel Radcliffe, I'm sorry, they just couldn't get a life-size bust of Harry Potter.
I'd rather Charlie anyway.
Charlie who?
Charlie Weasley. He raises dragons. I mean,
oh yeah, he was never in the movies. Sadly,
no.
He was only mentioned in the movies.
He was in one scene.
In
the photo.
In the photo of in
Egypt.
3, in the third one.
Yes.
But yes, folks, we are going to start wrapping it up. So 9.5 from Mads, and me, while we wait for 24/7. Objectively, I would put this movie at a 7 out of 10. There are inconsistencies. Objectively, this is without bias and not comparing it to the book. There are inconsistencies. There are a couple of mishaps with the writing, and 1 or 2 digital shots could have been a little bit touched up. Subjectively, I would give this a 9 out of 10. And moviegoer, if you watched all the movies, it somehow puts together very well. So I would give it a 10 out of 10. And with that, I'll hand it over to 24/7 to give his out of 10 rating. if he's still in the room, because he had to step away for a second.
Yeah,
We'll give
it's
him.
understandable.
Yeah, it is. I'd have to get up and walk around too if it wasn't, or if I wasn't the host.
I admit I've had to turn the camera off occasionally just to stretch.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, these ones are from Noble Collection. Now, believe me, this one is pretty freaking solid.
Yeah.
However, if you were to get one like Voldemort's, if you were to get Voldemort's wand from Noble Collection, whipping that one around, you'll actually feel the wand move a little bit because it's actually more plasticish because in each one of these wands is not a unicorn hair or a thestral tail hair or a phoenix feather. It's a lead rod.
Yeah.
So
and Soul Assassin, no, that was Bill.
Yeah, wasn't he the guy at the wedding? No, yeah, that was Bill with the hot chick. So 24/7, you're back. How would you rate the movie, this final movie?
From what to what? What do we?
1 to 10. 1 being absolute shit, dung beetle, or number 10 being absolute abracadabra awesome.
Well, shit. Out of all the Harry Potter movies, the way this ended up, the way it tied into, I'd give this about an 8.5.
8.5, that's good.
Right, and then to be honest with you, it's well deserved. From out of all the movies you watched, everything that you've seen, for it to end the way it did, even it tied up loose ends that, if you'd give it a little bit of thought, you can see how they put a lot of thought into everything. This it was phenomenal. It definitely deserves an 8.5 or a 9. It was really that good, and it really wrapped everything up in a fucking bow. You can't ask for anything more than that. It's well deserving of it. And I'll even say this: if you haven't played the games are fucking awesome. I've owned every last one of them.
I'm definitely going to be looking them up.
And so if it ever comes to where got to look over the games and what they've done and playing Quidditch and all this other shit. Like I used to put a fucking foot in Quidditch ass. I used to beat the shit out of it. Boy, I would play the computer and fucking murder the computer. That's
nice.
Boy, I mean, once I figured out how to play it and understood the rules to that, like right now, I fucking forgot all that shit. Just man, put the fucking game in front of me again and see if I won't figure it out and go right back at it. At the end, I ended up killing the computer. Like it just was nothing, and it was cool. It was fun. It was like playing that one. What Final Fantasy game that was? Was it 10 or the one where they were playing that underwater kickball game? Was that 10?
I do not know because I'd never played that game.
Oh man, dude!
I've played Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and a couple of the ones
number
that
10,
were on the
there was it was a very good story, and they were playing a game. It was a kickball game, and it actually is funny because it came out around the same time that Harry Potter and Quidditch came out, and it was like a kickball game, and it reminded me so much of Quidditch, and it was very good. And what I'm saying is Quidditch is actually a very good game when you actually play it. And the rules are even though for something that was just made up out of nowhere, the rules were fair. The game was good. It's exciting. There's a lot of good qualities of things that you can get from playing these games. And if you enjoyed the movies, I would say, hey, give the games a shot. And actually, when you get to like the last 2 games, that's when they really started like freaking out the magic, and you had to like hit the controls in a certain way to perform a certain kind of a spell. Oh man, you have to really be on your shit in order to perform, and pull off some stuff. So yeah, it made you feel like you was a fucking student of Hogwarts right off the top.
Yeah.
So I know I'm looking forward to the new game that's coming out. I can tell you that right now.
Just
the
curiosity.
Yeah.
You're a keeper, weren't you?
I'm what?
Were you a keeper?
Yeah, I'm a
In
keeper.
Quidditch.
Damn right, you're a keeper.
Oh, I thought you
All right, folks. With that, we are going to wrap this up. Thank you all. And I'm going to actually, before I do go, I'm going to thank every one of the panelists that have been on here. Mads, 24/7 Fusion, Ambassador, Moira Kitty, AFK Bard. Who else? Lorena Creole.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Lorena Creole. She's also a great panelist. Give all of them love, folks, because they are all great YouTubers.
Yes.
And thank you all for tuning in to all 8 of these live streams. They were all super fun to do for you all. Stay tuned in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks we are starting anew with a different series. Exactly, the Underworld series. And Fatal J will be joining the panel with those ones. So Mads, 24/7, do you guys want to join those ones too?
Heck yeah, love Underworld.
Yeah, and I would definitely be there, and with my liking self.
Nice. Alrighty, folks, and with that, this has been Orange Hat Reviews with my panelists, and I'm trying to get to that button.
There you go.
Alrighty. And with that, folks, Mischief Man.